'em up, lay it down just like Matt Amari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock, cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every weekend, it's feeling like a party. Moolah Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt Amari. Wrestling liver RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock, cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every weekend, it's feeling like a party.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wrestlemania RHAPUp podcast. Very special episode. I'm your host, Mari Forth, and with me, as always, my co-host, Mr. Matt Scott. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm not cold. Like we were just about a week ago. And I'm still catching up on rest from WrestleMania weekend. Like what a beautiful weekend we had.
I know. I literally was like, I'm doing absolutely nothing this week. I just need to rest and recuperate for a multitude of reasons. But like, I am like so tired, and I'm so glad that I'm just like chilling, because that was definitely an experience. We cannot wait to tell you guys about our WrestleMania experience, being there for night one. But before we do that, we are live here on our YouTube page, our new YouTube, the Wrestlemania RHAPUp YouTube. You can find us at youtube.com/@WrestlemaniaRHAPUp. That's youtube.com/@Wrestling, RHAPUP. And we're also live in the yes. And we're also live in the Job Has a Squadcast Facebook group. Shout out to all of our Job Has a Squadcast Facebookers.
Our jobbers.
We've
never talked about the
Squatter.
name. Squatters. Our squatters. Squatters, jobbers. Let us know what you think you should be.
Honestly, shout out to everybody in there. We have so much fun. I like, even if it looks like I'm barely on Facebook, but the moment I am on Facebook, I go to Job Has a Squadcast, and you guys lighten all of our moods. We're so glad that we got a few questions from you guys over the week. And we decided to go live 10 minutes before we pushed the live button. So we understand. We understand if you guys cannot be here right now.
We were like,
our faults.
We just were like, hey, actually, Mari, you were like, you said to me, hey, are we going live? And I was like, we could. And you were like, should we? And I was like, let's just do it on YouTube. And then you were like, but we should also do it in the Job Has a Squadcast
if
group.
We're going
and then
to
I was
it.
like, well, okay, let's do it. So we're here. And you know what? Whoever's with us today, what a gift. Just what a gift. Just tell us you're here.
Yes, exactly. So let's kind of we got to get into all of our WrestleMania experience and stuff like that, but let's get into a little bit of a lot of wonkiness this week. I mean, there's so much like kind of like news coverage. We're not going to cover it all. There's also been some horrendous things happening on wrestling Twitter. It's just like, y'all are ridiculous. Yes,
oh my gosh.
A lot of racism going on wrestling Twitter. It just happened like last night. Yeah.
Oh my god. Breaking news. Where's our sound? Like, oh my gosh, ring the alarm.
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
I guess not shocked in one sense, but also like, oh damn, not again. Come on.
It's a lot, and I'm not gonna go through it, but shout out to Denise Salcedo. Shout out to all of the wrestling people in the wrestling community with platforms that uplift people and not denigrate and just spout misogyny and racism. Like, we can deplatform these people, support people who have better platforms, and we have a lot.
And by the way, let me just add, one of the cool things before Mania weekend or leading into it, I saw an interview with Bianca. I don't know if you saw this one, but she was talking about basically around the 2K game, how we saw all of the racism that she received, but she was talking about how she basically has never seen, or she actually said like she's never seen racist comments in regard to her, which I mean maybe that's like hyperbole and maybe she's seen some stuff, but what she was talking about with that game was that she just like opened up her Twitter, opened up her texts, and was getting like this wall of positivity that was coming her way and didn't even see like the racism and the hatred because everyone was just flooding her with positivity. And she like
I
talked
love
about
that
this
for her.
as this wall of positivity that protected
Mhm.
her from the hate. And so I just love that so much. Like it sticks with me. I saw that interview at least a week ago, but just a good reminder that it matters when we show that positivity, even when people are being racist and doing other things that I clearly don't know about because Mari's more caught up than I am. Now I'm on
Yes.
Denise Potato's Twitter.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Because I just realized I was like, yeah, all this it's just all stupid stuff. But we also got to we'll also talk about this Zelina Vegas stuff. All of this popped off in the last like 24, 48 hours. And at first I was kind of like, I don't I don't care, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's stuff like you have to like read past just like the headlines on on Twitter and stuff like that. But Zelina Vega was accused of underpaying or not paying for some pieces that she used at WrestleMania, some gear pieces from
Mm-hmm.
a gear fabricator. And on top of that, once that person came out with something, then another person came out saying, "Oh yeah, she didn't pay me properly for an image that she used a few years ago." And so the internet was just kind of having fun with it, and because wrestling Twitter is gonna wrestling Twitter. So we just saw these
Mm-hmm.
memes about Zelina like not paying, like snatch memes, all fun and games for some people. But for Zelina, she didn't like the narrative being spun. So
Right.
Zelina responded to both of I just saw two, it was two creators by releasing DMs and text messages and stuff. And I'm gonna say it was very interesting to me. So
I'm like here on the edge of my seat eating my
yeah,
popcorn right now because I don't know. I saw one of the creators and their long Instagram post about what happened. I read that.
yes.
I knew that Zelina responded. I didn't read the responses. I didn't read the DMs, but I
So
am hungry for some tea or
I'll talk about
thirsty
that
for
one
some
first
tea.
because that's the
Oh,
one that kind
please.
of popped it all off. It was this
Mm-hmm.
long Instagram post about like she posted Zelina's picture and she was like, let me tell you how I was severely underpaid by Zelina for pieces and how da 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 da, right? It was just like
Mm-hmm.
you read it, it was this long post basically
Mm-hmm.
saying that Zelina stole from this person. Zelina released the like text messages from them, and basically it was like this person was asked to fabricate these wings, like these wings things,
Yeah.
but the product that showed up was really bad. Like it was like the stuff was falling off. Um
Mm.
it was not what they had promised her, and the person was basically like, "Oh, it was the shipping, like because you had told me to ship here, but then I had to ship here." And Zelina and them were like, "It came late. It came completely late past the deadline." And then
Ah.
the
Which is a big
person
factor because the person was like, "Oh, I shipped it to this one address when," but then Zelina had to it took time for Zelina get it. So I think they said like it melted in the heat
in the yeah,
at
they
the
said
wrong
that it
address.
melted.
But like if
What
it got there
materials were
late,
used?
if it got there late, then like she was like, I'm not just sitting here. Zelina's not sitting at home waiting for the packages. She's on the move. You need to get to her when you say you're going to get to her.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It was a lot of for me, it felt like a lot of excuses on that creator side. So when Zelina released the messages and Zelina was like, "Hey, this stuff is late. It looks defective. I can't even use half of this." So it's not like Zelina Zelina didn't even use half of the stuff that was sent by that creator because half of it was defective and didn't look good. So she did use like the chancla, She had the sandal in her hand and like the headpiece. That was it. And but the person was commissioned to do the whole, like, these whole wings, and you can kind of see that the wings are kind of like it, the wings that she does have on feel like an afterthought or
Oh, I thought you were gonna
whatever.
call them cheap.
I mean, those aren't the, again, those aren't, from what we understand, those aren't the wings that the person, the creator, is talking about. So
Interesting.
the creator sent Zelina this long message like, this is not a reflection of my work, it's the shipping, and like I get it, but like I need to be reimbursed for the time, at least for just the time that it took for me to stone and do all this and push out commissions, and the Florida heat is what happened. And so like it was really weird. Like it was just like that person was making up all these excuses as to why their product wasn't up to standard. And
Yeah.
basically Zelina had paid them, and so she
Yes.
just opened up a case with PayPal to like get some of her money back. So even in the IG post, the person said, oh, it's supposed to be like 2.5K worth of work, but she only paid $900 for it. But if all she got was the shoe and that head thing, to me that's like, okay, like she didn't even use the rest of the stuff. So
Ugh.
I don't know. For me, it's just kind of like Zelina got to be better. She got to be better in like picking out
Right.
people to do these stuff for her, because the stuff that she's doing is cosplaying stuff. So her
Mhm.
gear, we all know about the all these successful gear makers around the wrestling world and gear designers, and how talent prep gear, pay for gear designs and stuff like that. But Zelina's always trying to go a step above. She's always trying to do cosplay, she's always doing fabrications and stuff like that. And I honestly think this falls on her for being more mindful of people she's choosing. But I also think like I wouldn't pay for something I didn't wear that looks defective. Like
1000%.
I'm
That's just it. And I mean, my thing is you deal with your business between with each other. Like deal with that privately. Because when my skepticism, not even about like the story, but just about the approach. And again, I love what you said, like be really mindful of who you're dealing with,
Mhm.
is I know that like for me, I I don't think if I was a gear designer and I had an issue, I would take that publicly, because
Right.
then I'm just messy and people don't want to work with me and they know that I'm going to air their business out. Like that's a whole other reason not to share that stuff. But also you're just trying to like bring in people who don't know the situation. Like why do
Exactly.
I need to know about this on Instagram? Maybe reach out to your other gear designers, let them
But
know, but
and
that didn't seem
and
like the
that's the
point.
thing. That's
That
why this
wasn't the
person
point.
is not, you could tell this person is not a gear designer. This person is not in
No.
the wrestling world, wrestling business. This person is like an independent creator who is now trying to like use the situation with Zelina, to garner attention. And I'm not saying that they don't have to tell their story, like that's their story, but it's like now you gave Zelina the right to defend, and now we're sitting here picking sides as opposed
Yeah.
to you taking it up with but that's just how I feel. I'm just like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
pay for something defective. Like I'm not going to pay for something defective that I
Yeah.
didn't wear. That's
No,
just you know
though, like just to like empathize with that gear designer for a second, two things. One,
I
like
wouldn't call them a gear designer, I would call them a fabricator.
ah,
Because
okay,
they're not. That's what I'm trying
fabricator,
to, that's the whole
fabricator.
point of this. It's
Yes,
cosplay fabrication. So
to
it's not gear. It's not in the wrestling world. It's outside of that world. So this
yes,
person clearly um is not in that same fraternal order, and they're an independent creator, so they're looking out for themselves. I think that's
yes,
a point here, and that's what I'm saying. Like Zelina needs to actually go to gear designers and gear
yes,
fabricators, as
yes,
opposed to
yes,
maybe
yes,
trying to save
yes.
some money and going out to independent
Yes.
creators.
Yes. And you know how like you just sometimes you have friends who are like, you're heated and you go into the group chat and you tell them the situation and they're like,
Yes.
get him, like go do
Yeah.
it. Like you're right, you're right. Like sometimes you just need people who are like, and maybe I think this kind of applies to the next news story we'll talk about too, but like everyone needs people who tell them that what they're about to do is a bad idea. Everyone
Yes.
needs people to be like, this is a learning experience. Like charge it to the game. Like it's all good. Get your
Yes.
money, get the
Yes.
piece of it, but like clearly you weren't doing things in a way that was how a professional would do it. What I mean is, are there contracts? Are there clearly stated numbers?
Yes.
Are you being sure that your DMs don't totally betray what you're
Yeah.
saying publicly? Like it's just all of that. But I mean, like learn from it. Learn from this.
Learn from
Learn
this.
from
We are
this.
rooting for you.
Like
And that's a great
where were
point
we?
because that
Yes.
kind of brings us over to the second creator. The second creator
Okay.
that kind of like tried to tag on was this creator who did who did a piece of Zelina, and I want to say it was Zelina and Aleister Black, and this was like years ago.
Yeah,
And
this is a different
Zelina liked it.
conversation, I feel, but I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, Zelina reached out to them and said like, "Hey, I really like this piece. I want to commission this piece. I want to buy the rights to this piece from you." And the creator was in college at the time and was very young and was like, "Okay, yeah, I'd be so happy to do business with you. Like, yeah, let me try and get some contracts together." And Zillion's like, "What do you want me to pay you?" And then they literally said in those messages, "You don't have to pay me for anything,
Yeah.
it's
Like something
fine."
like I'm gonna provide it to you or whatever. I just
Yeah,
read that a
the
second ago.
rights. And Zelina told them like, I'm gonna use it to wrap my controller. Like I want to put it on my controller wrap, stuff like that. And person was like, great. And then they were like, all I want is a picture, a signed picture of you with the design. And then said, okay. But then they also asked, I think Zelina also gave them tickets to a nearby to an
Oh,
event. She brought the designer and their brother backstage to meet them, all sorts of stuff.
what?
But then I guess later they found out that I think Zelina started to use the image for like her Twitch stream or something. I don't know if she
YouTube.
started. Yeah, YouTube. Okay, and I wasn't sure if she started like selling it as merch or anything like that, but she started to use it almost like a brand or a logo. And so
Yeah.
that's when the creator at first was like, "Oh, can you just credit me?" And then came back and said, "Can you just credit me?" And then they came back and was like, "Can we talk about like money now?" And it's like,
Wait, but wait, just to add to what you said,
mhm,
because Zelina with these receipts did a great job highlighting the key points. In regard to this one, though, she highlighted the person saying, I quote, I am not interested in any payment. I
right.
noticed you use the artwork I did for you on the YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. Could you credit me? Right. So, like, that was that. That was, by the way, that was July 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, this was years ago. Yeah. So it's just kind of like y'all got it again. It's I
Wait, when did the payment come up in the did payment
there
come up again in the messages at some
that's the
point?
thing. Like later the person then started to ask for payment after saying no a few times, after saying this, after just saying like, "Oh, well, just get me backstage." Like it, and then so Zelina was like, "Well, now I don't even want to like work with you because this feels weird." And then they were like, "Oh, now she's kind of like gaslighting me," and I'm just
Yeah.
like, we better business needs to be done on like both ends here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get they were young and all of that, and I don't know if they felt like they're being taken advantage of, but again, if I'm on that other side, if I'm an artist, and even in those things, Zelina was like, "I really would like to pay you," and they were like, "No," you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you have to protect your art,
Yes.
um, like,
And I'll
mhm,
also add like something that comes up here. You talk about doing better business and all of it. Like, I just want to mention there was an interview that I saw with somebody, and the person's actually, I'm going to name names. So it was an interview that was done with Alexis Leddy, who was the one who was
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
developmental, who
In
posted the
NXT.
racist tweets a while back, all that stuff. Anyway, just to say, there are receipts. Anyway, I wanted to mention that because I think she was talking about how people would message her with gear designs, right? And I imagine with the women and maybe with
Oh,
wrestlers
yeah.
in general, they get messaged with gear design ideas all the time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just need to know, like, you can't feel like, hey, okay, like, make my gear for me, to a random person who's just messaging you with ideas. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but like that, I would imagine that there's like kind of a common thing here
I
where
follow a
people come out
lot
the
of
woodwork.
gear designers on Twitter who just do
Yeah.
design. They don't do seamstressing. So
Yeah.
they'll put out gear designs, and
Yeah.
because they're in the world, wrestlers will reach out to them and know, like, they know at this point, like, okay,
Right.
this is a dom shoe design. Like, reach out to them, then connect them to the designer. I mean, to the seamstress, and they'll make
Right.
it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm where I'm thinking Zelina is going wrong here is definitely stepping outside of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And dealing with small creators, which I think you should support small creators and stuff like that. But it keeps backfiring on her. Honestly, if I was her, I'd be like, screw this. I'm just gonna go to like known trusted sources after this.
You know what,
Um,
Mari? The only source I trust, and I don't care, I know she's more of a seamstress than designer, but the only person I trust, Miss Sandra.
Miss
I know you're
Sandra.
retired somewhere, but I'm
Oh,
just saying they need you. Shout out
yeah.
to Miss Sandra Gray,
She's
doing her
amazing, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm. And so, like, it's just so crazy because this, like, this has literally happened to one of my best friends. One of my best friends is a small business creator. She's in a certain industry. She gifted something to a major celebrity, she met a major celebrity, gifted them something, and then, like, 2 or 3 months later, the gift that she gave them, they completely copied and then put out for retail to,
Ooh, not
completely
cool.
under their own brand.
You know,
And
Mari,
she
I've heard some situations like that even in the allegedly in the survivor community. There's someone
oh,
who
oh, yeah.
there were the puzzles.
Yes.
I'm not naming names.
The
I
puzzle
actually
business is
I shouldn't have said
cutthroat.
anything. Yeah, anyway. But like it is a weird line. And I will
Mhm.
also say with the picture that you're talking about of Alistair Black and Zelina Vega. I'm assuming
Mhm.
they were going under those names at that
Yeah.
time. Like, to me, it's just so bizarre that anyone can make art of me and then I don't like I have to pay for that. Or,
Yeah.
like other than like,
E
walking down the street
exactly.
and I'm like, let me sit down and you like draw my picture and I pay you $10 or whatever for doing a little caricature. Like it is such a weird
It
dynamic
is
that people
it's
make things
weird,
of
yeah.
your likeness and body and you don't have ownership of it, which is just like a whole other
It's the
conversation.
whole
But
legal thing, and that's what
yeah,
I told my friend, because my friend brought it to the group chat, and we were like, "Wow, that is truly messed up."
get her, get
And
her,
but
get her.
yeah, but no, but we were actually we
Yeah.
told her the same thing. We were like, "Okay, so you have cause here, you have the proof, you have all of this,
Okay,
but the
legal.
thing is, are you prepared to end up on the shade room? Are you
Uh-huh.
prepared to, like, end up on media outlets?" Because, I mean, the
Yeah.
smallest thing that can happen is you say, "Hey, can you just credit me?" You know what I'm saying? Like, for my
Yeah.
idea. And they say, "Okay, yeah, credit." But the biggest or the worst thing could happen is it gets caught up. You are now you're now people feel like you're pointing fingers at this huge creator who has this huge background, who has this huge following, and now their following is piling on you in your small business, and now your small business is what, getting bombarded with bad Google reviews, getting, you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
even if you're in the right, even if you're in the right. Plus,
Uh,
she didn't own the rights to the image that she had used for the gift that she gave that
yeah.
person. So it's just like, we just told her, we said exactly like you said, charge it to the game, charge it to the
Uh-huh.
game.
Yeah, like, you just have to be like, "Okay, I got it's fine."
Yeah,
I love how we spent,
24
almost
minutes.
It was actually, if
Like
we want to
20
be more
minutes.
specific, about 19 minutes talking about
Yeah.
this. So
But it's interesting. I think it's interesting
yeah, I
stuff.
think it's
And we'll
interesting
get
too.
into
No regrets.
no regrets.
No.
Um we also
Well,
got a question
yeah.
from Ashley. Shout
Oh
out to
gosh.
Ashley B
Hey,
in the Job
Ashley.
Has a Squad cast Facebook group. Who I think just won. I think she won her match. I can't remember. I gotta check.
Oh,
Um
actually,
we'll
we're
get
gonna get
yes,
back to
we'll
that
get to
later.
the we'll
Okay,
get to
right?
our yeah,
Pull
we'll
up the
get to
results.
the RWWCF
Don't.
update. I still don't know.
I think it's anyway.
RWR.
Ashley asked,
Anyways.
"What are your thoughts on the Osprey? What are your thoughts on the Osprey promo and the drama surrounding the footage?"
Mhm,
Which you're asking us, Ashley, about stuff that we kind of know about, but
mhm.
mostly don't know about.
I
I'm not
mean,
gonna. I mean,
mhm.
like, what, Mari? Where are we gonna start here?
Well, I'm gonna start with like I said, I don't follow Will Ospreay. I'm not a fan of Will
No,
Ospreay for several reasons. So
sorry to
when
that man.
not sorry to that man. And so you know, from what I understand, it's like just throwing shots at Triple H. I don't care. Like I'm truly one of
Yeah.
those people who do not care about if the companies are throwing shots at each other. Because either
Hmm.
way, no matter who's throwing shots, I'm like it's petty. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just all just petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it and that stuff has never moved me. Like I know it moves some fans. Some fans love that. I don't
Hmm.
care. Like I don't care. So,
Yeah.
but we gotta talk about the CM Punk footage. I
which
I
which we can't show, or else we're gonna get a cease and desist. But
yeah.
I wish we
What
could like break it down frame by frame.
so
But
weird, man. I was
yeah,
so Matt, you've been watching more AEW than I have in
I
the
have
last few weeks.
actually. Yeah.
But like the precipice of this like footage even coming out is I think like the Young Bucks or the EVPs and they're supposed to be like the heels or something in the feud they're in, and they decided to show this footage. But to me, I'm like, this happened like over a year ago.
I
I
mean, I don't even remember. Was it September that it happened, or all like
it's all
August?
in. So
What, you know what, Mari? It
September,
doesn't matter
yeah.
when
It was
it doesn't e
September.
sure, one of those. And,
And
you know, like,
it was
keep going.
it was in response to I think CM Punk did an interview and talked about what happened.
Right.
And I don't know if this was to dispute that interview. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know who's on the right and the wrong here. Like,
Let me just say this, that, everything that basically everything that Punk said was what happened in the interview. There was no audio for
you're
this,
right.
it's just this footage, and it's pro wrestling. So, I think it's I mean, there's a lot to kind of talk about here,
Yes,
that
and I
we probably
know
won't spend a ton of time on, but
no.
I will say that, like, okay, it's pro wrestling. So then when you show a clip of people getting into like a little scrap backstage,
Mhm.
what are you trying to do? Like, you're missing your audience here, because one, as longtime wrestling fans, we know that fights happen all the time. Sometimes
Right.
there's even a little shooting in the ring outside. It
Mhm.
happens, right? Like, that's just what comes with it. So it's not like this incredible unprofessionalism in the grand scheme of pro wrestling. Like, this is on par for pro wrestling, but
Mhm.
also CM Punk admitted to it. Also, Jungle Boy Jack Perry apparently said some things. Apparently, wasn't exactly backing down from a fight, and they had a mini fight. It lasted all of
Mhm.
5 seconds, like, and then people
Yeah.
broke it up. And CM
Shout out
Punk
to
does
Samoa
not.
Joe. I
Yes, Samoa Joe
I just
was in
love
there,
Samoa
Chris
Joe.
Hero was in there.
Yeah.
I love how, like, even
Not
in
Chris
this
Hero.
screenshot that's up, like, that I'm staring at, there are some faces that are blurred for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It does look like on the bottom left of it that's like one of the, I think the Young Bucks were kind of nearby. Apparently
Mm.
Tony Khan was nearby.
Yeah,
Bad
who's
idea to
scared for his
like,
life or something.
yeah, which I'm like, calm,
I
sir.
just
I
don't
mean,
understand. What was this supposed to do? I mean, it was a lot of like back and forth. Oh, CM Punk is unprofessional. Oh, Jack Perry shouldn't have said what he said. I'm like, this is stupid. Like n- now somebody who's almost twice the age of Jack Perry getting mad enough to put hands on him is kind of like Okay, sir. But do I care? No. You know what I'm saying? And um
Yeah.
choosing sides between that fight itself, it's like it's so stupid. It was so many months ago.
Yeah.
But then the showing of the footage, like what are you actually doing? Like I know Jack Perry was suspended and he's like he has a run, he's doing a from what I hear, a pretty good run
Japan.
in New Japan. And CM Punk is over in WWE. So like how is this progressing AEW storylines? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
well, I mean, and they are tying into the storylines. So there's that, right? Like they are, I mean, like they're trying to tie it in. They are tying it in. So it's not like they just showed the footage randomly. But my point
Right.
is, how is it progressing AEW as a business? It just makes them look
Mm.
petty. It makes them look unprofessional. It makes them look like they like, why are you featuring and talking about someone who's not even with your company when you have incredibly talented people on your roster? You're just like when the biggest news story is CM Punk who doesn't even work with you, then why are you like, what are we doing here
Exactly.
other
So
than pettiness and child games, kid
yeah, so
games?
I mean, y'all know we when it comes to AEW, we're like, sure, whatever, you know. So it's kind of like it's I just I didn't see the point. Again, maybe if I'm paying close enough attention to the
Yeah.
storyline, then I would get it a little bit more. But if you guys want to
No.
explain it to us and tell us, let us know. Like honestly, let us
No,
know.
I don't think there's really an explanation. And shout out to, I have to pull up Job as a Squadcast because I just want to give a shout out to the one and only Edmo, who says, I'm dying at the Punk AEW footage. They cooked themselves and I'm not even a Punk fan. Like, why are you showing that why are you featuring your space as like this, an environment where people are fighting, where there's this level of conflict backstage? Like, to me, all this comes down to leadership. It comes down to
Yeah,
leadership. And I don't know. I just don't think it makes anyone look particularly good. It doesn't make Punk look bad,
exactly.
but it also doesn't make Punk look worse than he did. It doesn't really make
Right.
Jack Perry look worse than he did. And actually,
Yeah.
I mean, the only other comment I wanted to make on this was that, like, to me, it is just kind of, I don't know. It like, I
That's what
wonder the long term, like if this will be a long term thing we see where they keep doing pettiness just for the sake of pettiness. That like, uh, and people keep saying though, Mari, this was what I wanted to say, like that AEW has a right to defend itself, but that's not what's happening here. Like, this isn't
from
them.
a CM Punk. I didn't even know about that interview until
I
like
didn't listen to it in full. I
yeah.
just saw like the sound bites and everything from it, and now I'm like, oh, I needed to. Actually, I really don't care to tune into it because it's old news.
Mhm.
At least this piece of it is old news. So yeah, it's just tiring. People need to save their energy,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for like the new stuff. We got to get into our WrestleMania experiences. We got to
please.
get into um the fallouts from WrestleMania that happened on Raw and SmackDown. So if you haven't already, please go subscribe to the Wrestling RHAPUp podcast by going to Rob has a website.com/wrestling feed in order to subscribe wherever you listen to your audio. Of course, like we said, you could subscribe to our YouTube so you could stare at that grainy photo of the backstage by going to youtube.com/@wrestling RHAPUp. But let's get into the highlights of the week. And of course, we have to talk about our WrestleMania experience. We had
Mm.
so much fun taking over the RHAP Instagram. We had so much fun seeing each other. Matt, it was so much fun seeing you. I know. Um, but like we gotta talk about some things. So
Hmm.
like I said, I've been telling people, everybody should know. I am currently now 36 weeks pregnant. I am officially, it's in a few weeks I will be giving birth. And when we bought our tickets back in August, that was not the case. That we didn't know.
Mm-mm,
So there's so
mm-mm.
many plans that we had thought we were gonna do, and then I got pregnant, and there's so many things I couldn't do because because of course I was so far along in the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So we did get to post up at Xfinity Live. We didn't get to meet. I know that.
I
What
didn't realize you're gonna mention that, and I'm just like, well,
I
Ric
mean,
Flair.
Rick. Yeah,
Ric Flair's nasty.
we saw a lot of
Whatever
Ric
was
Flair.
there.
Ric Flair had a meetup at the Xfinity Live. It was so interesting.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, he did. He
yeah,
did.
it was. Oh my god, I don't
I'm
know if
like,
we got
where's
to
my
put that on our
video of Ric
YouTube. Yeah,
Flair? I
we
know.
got some pretty good video of Ric Flair, and it all went. It was all fine when he was just walking through the venue, and people like woo woo woo. But the moment he got on that mic, it was like, oh no, like it was so bad.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Wait, let me tell you something that
yeah.
so the day after after WrestleMania Night 1, this
Yeah.
relates to Ric Flair. I went to Challenge Mania, which Scott Yeager, a
Oh yeah,
former guest, puts
shout out to
on.
Scott Yeager.
And he had different like folks from the MTV Challenge who were there, including Sarah Rice and
Marco.
Susie Meister, who were there,
Oh,
and they
nice.
like, yeah, they're very cool. So they're talking about Ric Flair because they went to a Ric Flair meet and greet, and apparently Rick was saying to Susie, like, I don't know what a woman like you is doing here, and all this creepy Ric Flair up to,
Oh,
on
God.
par with Ric Flair. But like, I'm so tired of the woo chants. I'm done after WrestleMania. Like, no,
Yeah,
thank
Matt was
you.
over the Wu chants.
And it's
That was
funny, I was
funny
over them, but I was doing them because I'm like, woo, oh
because
wait,
it's just
no,
fun to
no.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Gosh.
but the biggest thing is like if you haven't seen my Twitter thread, I
Mhm.
called several times before WrestleMania to figure out what the accommodations would be for me. Because Lincoln Financial Field and that whole area is supposed to be ADA accessible and meet ADA standards in order to accommodate like people with disabilities in short term, long term, whatever. And it man, from not being able to park close to the stadium, even though I was told as long as I have my handicap parking sticker, I should be able to park as close to the stadium as I can with there being handicap parking. I wasn't allowed in any of the parking lots close to the stadium. To getting into the stadium and saying like, hey, I'm going to need a wheelchair to get to my seat. And they told us, okay, go just wait over here, and we'll get you a wheelchair. It might take a while, but we'll get you a wheelchair. We were there for like 40 minutes, Matt, just sitting there waiting for a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Luckily we were sitting down waiting, but it wasn't just us. It was another group in front of us who was waiting for a wheelchair as well, and
Yeah.
the wheelchairs never came.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, just to me, it's wild. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how it could be so disorganized at Lincoln Financial Field. I'm gonna name names, because you just need to have, like, it's so simple. Like,
You
just
would
have
think.
wheelchairs by the different entrances of the
Yeah.
place. Then you create a really positive, inclusive experience for people who need wheelchairs.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous though too, because I mean you're not going to hear a peep from Lincoln Financial Field because
No.
that's like, to me it's sad because they're like, you're pregnant, of course, but there are people who have disabilities going to these things all of the time
Exactly.
who need those chairs, and they have to sit outside in the cold, could you imagine if it was raining or snowing or whatever it was? Like,
Mhm.
it's not a good environment to be in. I know I was freezing. I can't even imagine
Mhm.
what it's like for you, for everyone else. So it just makes me sick. But
Like
I know that
it.
we figured out this. We figured out what to do. We figured out the situation, but like,
Yeah. Like
they have to figure that
lucky.
out for themselves.
We were lucky. We had tickets on like the first level, like the level 100.
Hmm.
So we were able to find escalators. Like we luckily, I mean, I did do research beforehand, so we did enter the closest gate to our seats and stuff like that to
Yeah.
minimize any walking that I had to do. I had on a back brace and a pregnancy belt. So it's like
Hmm.
luckily I did all those other precautions and didn't just hang on to the just the wheelchair was the only option. I came prepared. But again, what if our tickets were in the 300 section? What if we had to go all the way
Mhm.
to the top? That I wouldn't have been able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
way. Um
Yeah. You know what? Lincoln Financial Field's gonna get this clip somehow. Like, they need to figure this out because it's not even I know that, like, you're like, "It's what happened, it is what it is,"
yeah.
but, like, it's just messed up that that's not
Yeah.
they don't have better
Honest
accommodations for people who need them.
honestly, my to people out there who might need wheelchair accommodation going to big events like this, my advice to you is to
Mm,
try and rent a wheelchair and take it with you,
yeah.
because even if they found me a wheelchair, it would have just been a wheelchair escort, so they would have just escorted me to the seat and then took the wheelchair back. So
Mhm. And then
and
you probably would have had to wait a long
a
time
long
just to
time.
get the wheelchair back so you could go anywhere.
Exactly. My dad, who told me this, of course, after everything. My dad, he used to work part-time with the Atlanta Braves at the Atlanta Braves stadium. And
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh yeah." He said that happens all the time. He says the wheelchair waits can be up to an hour. He said it's just because they don't
Wow.
he's like we normally don't have enough wheelchairs. He's like they just have to have enough wheelchairs to say that they are ADA accessible. It's like the Titanic, like, you just have as long as you have a few, you can say that, but it doesn't mean you have to
Yeah.
have it all. And then my dad would say, like, you would have to call at the 7th inning of a Braves game in order for
Yeah.
your wheelchair to be there, um, at the end of the game. Like,
Yes.
yeah, so he was like, yeah, he's like, it's really bad like that. So I'm just like, then are these stadiums actually ADA accessible? Because it does not
Mm,
sound like they are. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
no, and and more than anything, they just get lucky with things not like, again, with the weather not being an issue, then what do you do? Do you like, what are you gonna do? Like, when you said people sitting outside waiting for chairs or, like, I don't know. It's all horrible. They don't have it figured out.
They don't.
Even the emergency, exit plans that they had, like, are not particularly ADA accessible.
Nope.
So whatever. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. The guest service line, I did notice, like, the guest service line was so long. And I was like, what what's happening? Like, why do
Mm,
these people, you know?
yeah, I don't know. I saw that too.
Yeah. But so on top of that, unfortunately, like, we are from, like, both of us are from this northeast
Yeah.
region.
Yes.
You are from Jersey.
Local enough.
Yes, I am from the DMV area. My husband is from South Jersey. Um, Philly is like a second, almost like a second, third home to me. I would say
Totally.
DC, New York,
Yeah.
Philly, or I
Mhm.
know all of those cities like the back of my
Mhm.
hand.
Mhm.
We've had all the cheesesteaks and everything before.
Oh, good. Just I was gonna check.
Yeah. Um, so we know that this area, it's like this time of the year, it's like either it's nice, it's hot, it's warm, or you just might get caught on a bad day where it's cold and windy. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, that weekend it was so entirely cold and windy. And I think the worst part about it, it's like it's not snow cold, it's the wind
Yeah.
cold. You know what I'm saying? I think that
Yeah.
wind chill is what really gets you, because
Always.
yeah, because it was like 50 something degrees. When the sun was out, it was like okay. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty
Uh-huh.
okay. Then it started getting cloudy. And then especially when it was nighttime, the wind, I feel like the wind was getting trapped in the stadium. And then
Yeah.
you're just sitting there for 4 hours not moving. So
Yeah.
your body's not moving. We were so cold, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
it was cold, but but the good thing is I'm glad that um my mother-in-law was so worried. I had scarf, I had
Yeah.
gloves, we had hats,
Yeah.
I had my full-on winter coat on. I feel so bad for people out there who looked great cosplaying and stuff like that, but weren't prepared because it was. I was
Yeah.
like I said, I was freezing, and I had my winter coat on.
Yeah, and apparently as night 2 started, so of course we didn't get to watch the
Mhm.
broadcast of night 1 live, but as night 2 started, I believe, I wouldn't say Pat McAfee, like, just jokingly thanked Michael Cole for constantly updating them with the weather forecast throughout night 1, which also I
Honestly,
think helps you appreciate not only the fans and our
mhm.
reactions, which I think has been a huge topic of
A
conversation. Like,
huge
oh my
topic,
gosh,
yeah.
the fans were so much more lively on night 2. Night 2 was so much better. I think it also just makes you appreciate the wrestlers because like they had to wrestle
Dog,
in the freezing cold. Like I want to know that story. I
that's
need them to
I
talk about
know.
that more and more.
Oof, I'm
Um
cold just thinking about that. They were in trunks out
yeah.
there. They were
Mm-mm.
in the little speedos. The women were in their bikinis. I could not
Uh-huh.
imagine, but at least they were
Yeah.
moving around. But
No. No. Yeah. I mean, come on. No. I'd rather be backstage. You could only move around so much. I mean, they were moving, Mari, but were they
mhm,
moving like that much that
I don't
they
know.
can't feel the cold? No.
Well,
And
maybe
also,
adrenaline too, though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have that adrenaline, but rough times. And then Becky Lynch, yes, Becky
Mhm,
Lynch wrestling with strep throat and a 102 fever.
crazy.
I can't even imagine any of what those people went through. But I do feel like things were like a little bit, they just felt a little tighter and slower. And part of that might have just been that we were so cold, but also I have to imagine that they were also affected by just being cold and dealing with that. I know you rewatched night 1, but I
I
need
did.
to rewatch night 1 just to take it all in.
I did because I saw even during the broadcast, people were like, "Oh, the crowd is dead. The crowd isn't doing it." But me and Matt were like, there were certain chants at certain times that I was like, the crowd we're chanting, and then when I went back on the rewatch, you could not hear it on the televised version, and I was like, that's weird because I knew like there were moments where I was like, yeah, I know we were chanting here, I know we were chanting here,
Hmm.
like because I was making an effort to chant here, and we could barely hear the chants on the other side of the stadium. Like I don't think
Hmm.
we ever synced up with chants on the other side of the stadium, and I'm really wondering if that was also a thing of the wind, like if the wind was muffling the sound
Yeah, I mean,
in the stadium.
in addition to being in an open air stadium in
Yeah.
general, in addition to the fact that people are cold, so
Mhm.
maybe there was a little bit less loud chanting, maybe,
Mhm.
but it has nothing to do with the enthusiasm of people for the
Right.
product. Obviously, it's WrestleMania, and people sometimes I've heard some of the talk of like, oh, the Philly crowd, like they just aren't as passionate, whatever. It's like the people at WrestleMania are coming from all around the world.
Exactly.
This is not a Philly crowd. This is
Mm-mm.
a diehard wrestling fan crowd, but a cold one in a
Yeah.
windy environment that's also outside. Which, by the way, side note, I did not even think about the fact that, like, I really didn't think about the fact that we would be outside.
Me
Like, yes,
neither.
I
It's so funny.
understood. I
We didn't think
understood, but,
about
like
it.
well, because
Putting
like,
like
we've
two
been
and two together.
no,
Yeah.
but, like, because like, you also think that, like, it can't be that cold in an
Right.
open air stadium, like, you're with all the people there, and there's
Mhm.
body heat, and, like, the
Mhm.
wind is blocked from no, no, no,
No. Mhm. Yeah,
no.
I agree, Matt. It's like, for months where you're gonna be, but it just still doesn't really like click with you until like, yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And,
Mhm.
and I think we have a voicemail, right?
Oh my gosh, we do have a
Mhm.
voicemail from Richie who went to night 1 and night 2. Thank you so much, Richie, for that. And I'm gonna hit play on the voicemail.
Hey Matt and Mari, it is Richie. I had the honor of going to WrestleMania for both nights as well as hitting Monday Night Raw on Monday, and it was a great experience. Fortunately, I was not able to meet up with you, but that was the first wrestling event I had ever attended, and the energy was absolutely
Wow.
electric. Like, yeah, I'm so happy Cody finished his story. The way that match came together at the very end was incredible. Like John Cena, I might have expected a little bit, but we got the Undertaker, and that was just out of left field. The only person that wasn't there was Stone Cold Steve Austin. But an unforgettable experience. Wish I really could have met up with you guys. Monday night was a completely different story. I
Oh,
bought Raw tickets last minute, and I sat on the floor. I was 3 rows behind the entrance ramp, and
oh
being
my
able to see The
gosh.
Rock in person, let me tell you, he is a behemoth of a human being. And just that full-on experience really capitalized on one of the greatest weekends of my life. And I hope you guys can agree with everything that you were seeing that entire time. All right, have a good one.
Wow.
Hey,
Awesome.
Matt
Yes,
That's
and
so
shout
Mari,
out to
it
cool.
is
Richie. That's
Richie.
amazing.
I
Oh
had the
wait, stop playing. Thank you so much, Richie. There we
That's
go.
awesome. That see,
Yeah.
and that's what it's really about because like the thing about it is when we bought our WrestleMania tickets, I was like, I know I'm not gonna see a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Mhm.
even though we were on the first section, there's a whole bunch of things that go into where you're placed and where you're seated in WrestleMania. So it's all about the experience when you're there. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Mhm.
just unfortunate. I still have fun. I still have fun
Yeah.
with you and James and stuff like that. But it's just so unfortunate that we had, especially me, I had a lot of things going against me between the cold and like being pregnant. We had planned to do a whole bunch of more stuff before that happened. And so, but because I was pregnant, I could only go to night one. We couldn't go to night two. We couldn't meet up with like Richie or anybody else that we really
Yeah.
like wanted to meet up with, because I just couldn't move a lot. If anything, people
Yeah.
had to come to me. So it was just like, it's unfortunate, but you know what? God willing, we'll go to another WrestleMania. They still have not said where the next one is yet, Matt.
Okay, well, uh, okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We will go to another WrestleMania. I feel like I know a couple of, I mean, I guess we know, I guess a kind of a bunch of other people who went to
Oh yeah.
WrestleMania, whether podcasters or others. Like for me, I'm like, okay, that seating is really important. Doing it,
Mhm.
I know that they do it in outdoor stadiums, but I really want to go to one that's indoors, not only because we were cold, but just from like the whole experience, like even the
Mhm.
visibility of the ring because they have to set the lighting structure and all that. Yeah, one day we'll be back at
I
Mania
don't know if
for
they'll
sure.
ever go back indoor. The
Probably
the
not
rumor
for
is that
yeah.
Minnesota is supposed to get the next one, I think.
Oh hell no, that won't
But
be out.
people,
That
yeah, I know, but people are like,
that,
I don't know. But I think
that
I
can't be
don't
outside, can it?
know, but I think
In the snow?
I think that stadium might have a cover. I'm not
They
sure.
better have a cover. That's my that's
Yeah.
my that's my requirement for the next Mania I go to. Just have a cover. Maybe take it off to shoot off some pyro if you want, and then close it. But like, I just yeah. And if it's, I have heard what you talked about with
Yeah.
Minnesota, and
Rumors are
there's
Vegas
no.
as well.
Everyone wants to go to Vegas.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so so yeah, that was our WrestleMania experience like there. But let's talk about like the matches. I
And you know
think
what we should talk about, Mari?
uh,
I'm really
oh, a
nervous to
break.
bring it up. I'm really
Mm,
nervous to bring it up because I don't know what kind of ads are gonna happen, but we really should
yes.
do a break right here. Which are you gonna tee us up for a
Oh, yeah,
break?
sorry. I thought you were
I
doing it.
feel like
Okay. All
I know
right.
it's you.
And we'll be right
You know,
back
I don't work out.
after this ad. This ad that we liked. Okay, we don't know. We don't know. All right, so we're back. We're back. Um
Smooth.
yeah, very smooth. Great segue. Um, so in person, so we'll talk about the night one matches
Mhm.
because, like Matt said, I did go back and watch most of them, and you could definitely tell there's a difference between being at there for some of them and like watching it back. So
Mhm.
if you ask me what my favorite match of the night is, like
What?
watching Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
That match was great to me. In person. I think it's because it was the first match. So we were still fresh. The storytelling, the match itself was so good. Like it had so much time to build and build and build and to storytell and all of that. The entrances were amazing. Like that match was great. That was the perfect way to start off the show. Honestly.
Side note, I did rewatch like a lot of Mania. I didn't rewatch all of night one, but I rewatched the entrances for
Yeah, we
sure for
rewatched
all
the
of them.
entrances. Yeah.
This was so trippy, by the way, seeing Rhea in her entrance with sorry, I don't remember the name of the band, but like definitely twinning with the lead singer. Like it was
Yes.
very it was
The
giving
name of
some-
the band is Motionless in White.
that tracks. I'm like, makes sense, adds up. But no, it was awesome. And yeah, a perfect way to start the show. And Rhea, by the way, with her weave in, like, come on, Rhea with the weave. We love it. We love to see it.
The bundles. She looked great.
Speaking of which, I heard and this probably came up in the press conference, but that Rhea had a panic attack before the match.
Yeah.
And yet was still able to perform and do everything.
Amazing.
You know, like all around, like kudos to her. Not for pushing through, because you should be able to tend to your mental health and all of that stuff, but just kudos for her for a great performance and like match of the night from what I've heard from so many different people.
I truly loved it. Yeah. It was great. And it was perfect. Becky Lynch did an amazing job.
Oh my gosh. Again, 102 degree fever. Again, just pointing that out, you know. That's wild.
It's so wild.
I can't even imagine.
I can't even like sit up in my bed with 102 fever. Like
no,
like
that would terrify me.
I know.
No.
The 6-pack ladder match tag team
thing
where they split the belts. Yeah. That was fun. A ladder match is always fun to watch in person, I feel like.
Wait, are you saying that the 6-pack ladder match was more fun to watch on? I'm like, how do I say online? No, not online, but like, what did you think about that overall?
No, it hit both. I watched okay. Like in person and the rewatch. Perfect. Like the in person was really funny with the truth spot, his comedic spot. I liked it both. I thought that was great. I thought the booking made sense.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird when it did feel very abrupt when Austin and Grayson Waller won. Like we were in the crowd and they had just did this thing with DIY and R-Truth. And it felt like a crescendo, and then all of a sudden like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory just had the belts, and we were like, wait, what? Like it was like,
yeah. I mean, and then the match keeps going, and then they slam I think immediately after that, pretty much Grayson Waller gets slammed through the table. So they kind of figured out how to approach it where it's like, okay, they're still in the match, but they don't have good odds of getting the championships back. And they were kind of out of the match. It was a weird
except for when
dynamic.
Austin played spoiler.
Right.
Right. I want to say I think it was DIY.
Yeah, something like that.
And Awesome Truth ended up with the other belts.
They did.
So my predictions were perfect for that match, and that match was fun. That was definitely a fun match to watch.
Mine too. And at this point, I was just like, wow, I'm just happy that my predictions are perfect so far tonight. Like, what a night. And yeah, like I'm glad that the winners were who they were. It is kind of funny that Awesome Truth got to celebrate and have their moment, and then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory just were like, okay, bye. We won also, but we won earlier, so we don't get our moment.
Right. It when you really think about it, it's smart booking. Like you're like, two tag teams aren't going to grab the belts at the same time. But this is the first time we've seen a match like that. So like it just really didn't click, until like they were pulling those ones down, and we were like, wait, what? And then but the matches keep going because like now it's like a regular match. It was very funny. Yeah, it was very interesting, and it made sense. You get the heels get the belts first. People boo them, and then they get out of the way, and then you let the the babyface team
Totally.
get it at the end. So
Hmm.
it made a lot of sense. I love that. I love a good ladder match, but so I'm a sucker for a ladder match.
Yeah.
The Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominic versus Santos Escobar match
Hmm.
was, I mean, so like in like
I
in person,
know.
the match itself, like, okay, yes, they were doing some really good luchador things. It was really interesting, but honestly, it was just like, what are the stakes here? The biggest thing, we were like, are there going to be shenanigans? Like the LFO and the LDF didn't do anything at ringside, really.
No,
And
there was like a spot toward the end where they were doing like a bunch of different dives to the outside, and
yeah,
there was a little bit
so
of
they're just
brawling
catching
between.
people.
Yeah, a little bit of brawling between Zelina and Elektra,
Right.
um, and yeah, I mean Carlito was there too, and then there was like the
So
weirdness.
weird. Yes.
I thought that this was so weird, and I still don't. I know that one of them, we had a correction in real time sitting there. Mari was like, "Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's Jason Kelsey." Or wait, Travis. I don't
Travis,
even remember which is which.
Jason
Damn.
Kelsey. No, so this is where I felt bad, and I have to issue an apology to my husband who was with us. James is a huge Eagles fan, and this was the point in the night where I got hungry again, and I asked him to go get me some food, and I did not realize it was going to take him that long, so
Hmm.
he missed the Jason Kelsey Lane Johnson run-in, and he is
Yeah.
a huge Eagles fan, and
To be fair, he really like. I don't know where he went for his snacks, but he was
I
gone for a
know he was
long
gone for
time.
so long. I was like, I didn't.
I know he explained it. But I think he had to go to like multiple places to get
Yeah, I was like,
food.
I would not have mind if you didn't do that. But like it was so funny because we're just sitting there and we're like, okay, it's going. And then these two big beefy, I was like, who are these two
This
big
big
beefy
luchadors.
white men? I was like, who are
Uh,
these white men? I kept saying to Matt, I was like, they're white. I don't understand who these people are. And why would you need them to run in when there's already 8 people on the
yeah, and then
side
it's
of
like
the
they're running in
ring?
to support the baby faces. Like, what is going on
What is
here?
happening? We didn't know who they were. And then,
No.
of course, because our actual real source was gone looking for
Yeah.
popcorn for me. And so when they get into the ring and they take their mask off, because you got to factor in that we don't get any commentary when we're sitting
No.
there. So when they run in, I'm like, oh, that's one of the Kelsey guys. And then
No,
I
you
didn't
were
know who
like
the
it. You said it was Travis Kelsey, and
did
I
I
was
say
like, "Oh,
Travis?
that means maybe
I
we'll get
knew it
Taylor
wasn't
Swift versus."
Travis.
I'm
I
telling
knew
you,
it was his
Taylor
brother.
Swift. We're gonna get Taylor Swift versus Io
No, I
Sky.
knew it was his brother, but I must have just said Travis's name. Um, and then I
I
didn't
don't
know who
know.
the other one was. And then I immediately said, "Oh no, James is gonna be pissed." And then I immediately get a text, "I'm pissed." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." But it just all of that aside, it didn't make no sense. I'm sorry. Like it was a good filler match, but being there like live and in person, we were so confused for like we were like, wait, why what is
Yeah.
happening? Why are there so many people here? Oh, it's the Eagles. Okay, I guess that's fun, but also like why they're interfering in this match because it has no stakes. But also again, there is already multiple people and multiple factions already here.
Well, and it didn't seem like it was needed. Like I didn't feel
Yeah.
like it wasn't like, okay, we took out all the baby faces and now Ray is gonna be screwed over. Like, no,
Yes. Right.
no. I so I was very confused because I really thought, I'm like, one, I thought that they were a tag team debuting. Because like really like I mean they were wearing
I think you
masks, but
did. Yeah.
I didn't think like, oh, they're luchadors. Like I'm like, oh, who like I really can't even think. I
Yeah,
can't think
like
their name.
Riggs from the NXT, like I think you thought it was the NXT
That's
guys.
that's what you said. That's what you said. And I
I
was
don't
like,
was
oh,
it
oh no, wait,
me?
maybe I no, it might have
I
been
think
me. I
you
said
said
Briggs and
Briggs and
Jensen, and
Jensen.
then you're
But
like,
and
I
then I
don't
think
think
I
they're
told you I was like, I
together.
think they broke up though.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was funny. We were just confused. It was just confusion until they took their mask off and
Who were
then
those
we
guys
kind of
that wore there were the guys that wore the face paint from NXT. who were like good in NXT, and they wore red and black.
Oh,
And they
I know who Ascension.
yeah, I thought it was
Mhm.
them. I couldn't think of who they
Oh.
were.
Mm.
Yeah.
Next up, I don't even know if this is the correct order. This is just the order I
I'm
have
just
it listed
pulling it
in.
up. So I
Yes,
have Jimmy and Jay
Jimmy
next.
and Jay Uso. So
With
Lil
Lil
Wayne
Wayne, by the way.
comes out for like a 2-second snippet of
It
the
was great. It
song.
was lovely. We got
That
a
was
million minute.
cute.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we
Millie.
go. I want to rewatch that entrance specifically,
Yeah,
by the
the
way.
crowd loves main event Jay Uso. I mean, honestly,
They
it
really
was
do.
amazing. But we got to talk about that match because that match, that
Mhm.
was the one match I didn't get a chance to.
Good for
I
you.
didn't get the chance to go back and watch, but it was just like, and I feel like maybe I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe it comes across differently on TV, but in the stadium, I'm like, there's just a whole bunch of super kicks, a few
Literally,
splashes.
Mari, literally the whole entire photo album of this is either a splash or a super kick, pretty much. Like it is just
Yeah.
super kick. I think I saw a counter somewhere that you sent me. You
Yes,
sent
I
it to
sent
me.
the
It
counter.
was like
Yeah.
21 super kicks,
Yeah.
7 dives. Like it
Yep.
was not a lot of
Like
things.
wrestling. Yeah. And
No.
and I think it was because like, and there was like lots of talking. We couldn't from the boards. I think I could tell like Jimmy was trying to get Jay to not do something or other. I'm just wondering if there was more in-ring psychology that we just could not pick up on because we didn't have the commentators like guiding the story
No.
for us, and we couldn't hear anything in the ring, and so all we were just seeing is them just kick each other's heads off, and I was just like, this is kind of a letdown.
No, I mean, like, if it's great in-ring psychology, you don't need commentators to tell you that story.
That's true.
And the weird part about it was the point in the match when Jay was going to go for one more super kick, but after like 21 super kicks, I guess that one more was what would have really like killed Jimmy. So he was
Right.
like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And then Jimmy is, obviously he's still a heel, so he
Mhm.
does whatever to Jay after
Mhm.
it obviously doesn't pay off. Jay gets the win. I was kind of annoyed by this match because I did feel like I just wanted Jimmy to win here.
Yeah, I knew Jay was gonna win, and I mean, we'll talk about the fallout.
Mhm.
Maybe because of what happened in the fallout is the reason why they didn't go so hard in their match. Um, we do have a comment in the chat here saying their spot on night 2 was way better than the whole match, which honestly, yes. Shout out to my beloved Med. Like,
Yeah, I thought
honestly,
they
that's right.
died.
They
I thought they died jumping off
they
the
took each other
ramp.
out off the ramp. Yeah. So it was just, yeah, a stipulation, just anything.
Yeah.
I felt bad for them because I was like, I knew that was a match they've wanted for forever, but
You know
it
what? I
just
will
did not
say
translate.
my favorite thing about WrestleMania Night 1 is that the matches, like, nothing went on too long. And I say
Right.
this because I like the night before on Friday night, I went to ROH Super Card of Honor, and a lot of those matches went on way too long.
Mhm.
Like as a someone who's not a fan of ROH, from my opinion, like they went on longer than the Mania matches.
Yeah.
So,
Dang.
like I do like how, I mean, just as another note, like the show started at 7, which I was actually surprised by because I was like, oh,
Mhm.
doesn't it start at 8? But then it was done by 11. Like, thank you WWE for not keeping us there too late.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were actually able to get out like really quickly too
We
because
really were. Because
yeah.
apparently there were people who were like waiting in line to get out, like waiting in the traffic with all of the cars pulling out to get out. We were
We
good.
did not play. We were like
No.
again, research. We did some really good research, parked
Yeah.
really
Really good.
well, minus
Mhm.
the non-disability parking. So
Yeah.
we were out of stadium range by like 11:20. Like we were not like we didn't have to wait in a
Yeah.
single line at all.
100%. No.
We boogied. Yeah, like I agree. I think the matches were pretty good. No, but this is next.
Next match.
We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
The match that I was looking forward to all night was Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control.
Mhm.
Asuka, Dakota, and Kyrie. First off, the entrances were great. I went back and watched the
Mhm.
Damage Control's entrance, which was just so beautiful. But we saw them setting up for Bianca, Jade, and Naomi's entrance.
Yeah.
And that was
On
that
that
entrance was so
platform.
good. Yeah.
On that platform. And what's funny is that in the press conference after, like they were talking, like I think Bianca or Jade said, like, "Oh, Naomi was up there, like shaking, like she was," which
Yeah,
I
that was funny.
I don't know if it was because of her nerves being up on a platform that high, or the wind and the cold, or both. But they looked amazing. Like, what? How did they do it? Do you think Bianca made all of their gear? Wouldn't that be
No.
funny if she made all of their gear?
No, it would be funny, but love Bianca, but
Wow.
Bianca is known to start her gear very, very late.
Yeah.
She even was playing around with the fans, like on talking about
Mhm.
that. So
Mhm.
my thought is, I was like, I thought it was perfect because I think Jade was like, of course, I'm going with my silver motif,
Yeah.
and then Naomi was like, well, I'll go with gold. And then Bianca's like, perfect. I'll put them both together in her.
Yeah.
I love that
Mm.
mixing, and they looked so good together. That
They
entrance
did.
of them just standing at the top of the thing and Bianca whipping her braid around, Naomi's
Yeah.
hat, and Jade posing. I was like, dog, this is so great. But you could tell they cut their entrances, and we were there in the crowd, and I was like, Bianca looks pissed off, like coming
Yeah.
down the ramp. I was like, Bianca looks mad. And you could tell they, like, again, their entrances were rushed, even though they had luckily they kept the big thing, but then they did
Mhm.
their individual entrances. Jade got her like entrance really
I
quickly.
mean, like 10, yeah,
They
like
cut
20 seconds.
Naomi's, and
Mhm.
then Bianca came in, and I was like, okay, it feels like something's like not right here. And then so as we're watching the match, I'm like trying to get into the match. I'm like, okay. And the match was so fast paced, and then all of a sudden it was over. And I was like,
Yeah.
I like being there live. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, what the hell? Like it truly felt like
Mhm.
it felt like they didn't get a chance to build any heat. They didn't get a chance to really go. Like I was kind of expecting the a triple threat match, like a 3-on-3 match like we got like at
Mhm.
Evolution, like one that built. We didn't get that. It ended up being a squash match, which is fine. Like I went
Sure.
back and watched it on TV. Um and it made sense. But what I heard was it was supposed to be like a 15-minute match, but their match got cut in half because of the night going over. And the women
Ah.
always tend to get cut in freaking half.
Yeah.
And it's
You
like,
know
you
what?
could have cut the
And
Usos match. Ugh, but
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot they could have cut. I mean,
yeah.
even just down to certain people's entrances, like,
Entrances.
'cause, you
Like
know, ugh,
they cut
yeah.
their whole match 15 minutes from 15 minutes, but still kept the 20 minutes it took, the 20-minute entrances it took for Roman, Rock, Cody. Like it's bull crap. I'm sorry. Like I
Yeah.
hate that the women's matches are always the matches that get cut. And I think that's why you could kind of tell. Now so and then there are moments where it was like, okay, the crowd has to get invested. Like we need time to get invested.
Mhm.
So there were chants when Bianca gets tagged in, we get the EST. Like we were pushing those chants, Matt. Remember, we were like
Yeah.
EST, EST, and we
Yeah.
were trying to like push chants. And then when I went and watched it on TV, you couldn't hear him. You couldn't hear it. And I was like, this is some bullshit. Like I was so mad. I was so excited to see that match. And like, I'm mad that it got cut, but I get it. Like, when I went online, there were people who were like that really loved it. I think it did show like how powerful the three of them were together, and that Damage Control just could not handle them. So I think it did. I do think it did what it did. I did think it gave them their moment.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of mad because I wanted them to grind it out. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to grind that moment out, but that's not what it was there for. It wasn't to grind it
No.
out. It's to push them as big stars.
Yeah, I get it. Like I get it. I get it, you know? Like, because I'm just thinking of Damage Control.
Right.
They could put up more of a fight.
Yeah.
Like,
They
they
only
could have
got
been more
offense on a
competitive.
Naomi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could have been more competitive, but it is what it is. Like, not everything's going to be a long, but even just like you said, like a 15-minute would have been so much better and stronger.
Right.
It did feel kind of incomplete and quick, and like they barely broke a sweat, you know?
Yeah. The good thing is though, like if they book this right, it could be okay. Because at first I want to be like, man, they just kind of buried Damage Control here. But honestly, again, this is the first time Jade, Bianca, and Naomi had teamed up. Damage Control didn't know what they were getting into. That was technically Jade's like first match. They could just build like on this feud, like, oh, okay, now Damage Control is learning. They know what they're in for, you know what I'm saying? Like they can go back and forth, they can build, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
didn't think
just
it was a burial or anything like that.
right.
And I don't really have like any memory of what the commentary situation is, but all I'm hoping is that Michael Cole was there putting these women over because,
Yeah, that's literally
you
what they
know,
did on commentary. They literally
yeah.
just put them over. So that's why I was like okay with it. Luckily, they did get put over like quite a lot. So, but
Yeah, what
also like we said,
mhm,
and we'll go into a little bit more later, it's not over. So that's at least the good thing.
mhm.
The Intercontinental Championship match, Gunter versus Sammy, like in person, that was a good match. It was a good match no matter what.
Yeah.
We were just shocked with the outcome. Like me and you.
Yeah. I mean, but really, like, in retrospect, like, I guess it's the build. The lack of the build
Yeah.
was the
The lack of
problem.
the build, yeah.
Like, I remember when Sammy won, I was like, "Oh,
I know.
yay, go, yay." Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's deserved. It all made sense, but and they kept cutting to his wife, like, again
Oh
and
my god,
again
they
and again
kept
and
cutting to
again
his
and
wife.
again. Oh my gosh, she's so like she needs to join the main roster. Give her a
Right.
contract.
And when you're in a live stadium, like you want to you want those screens on the competitors so you can see, because you're going back and forth between looking in the ring and looking on the screens, and they
Mhm.
just kept cutting to his wife, and I'm like, dog, I'm trying to watch this match,
Yeah, and
but y'all
because
keep cutting to her
it's funny because like at first, and I get it because she's so expressive and she seems to
Mhm.
be like really in it.
into it.
Like
Oh yeah, she was
she's
in it.
so into it. Like it works for kayfabe, but there were even points where they cut to her where she's just like she's just like watching. Like she's not doing anything. Like she's probably like, please
because
get these cameras off.
she's like us. Like, why are you in my face again? Like it was
And
like
they had
every 10 seconds.
and they had the two angles on her. They had the one behind her and they had the
Yes.
one in front of her. It
Yes,
was
they did.
a lot.
It was
Khadijah,
a lot.
yes.
Yeah, shout out to
Yes.
Khadijah. So Sammy winning, that was unexpected for me because I didn't think that was gonna happen, but uh it was a good match. It was a good match in
Not the
person.
yawn.
I
Okay.
know. I'm just thinking about it. Like
By
it was
by the
so late in
way,
the night at that point too.
yeah, just shout out
I was
to
so
the
cold.
one thing we haven't talked about
The
is like
ads,
the ads and the really in my opinion
so inappropriate.
inappropriate like ways that they matched up the ads with the wrestlers. Like they had the cervezas with the like the aqua frescas with, I'm just
with
like,
the
what are
Spanish
we?
wrestlers. Like
Yes, I'm like, what are
yeah.
we doing?
They had
With
the
like,
chicken.
yeah,
They had the Wingstop ads for the damage control Bianca.
I thought they only had dude wipes during the Usos, but I guess they also had dude wipes during the Sammy Gunther match. Like, it was a lot, and it made
It
me
was
uncomfortable.
weird. It was mad weird.
It was a choice. It was, and you know what? Like, literally though, it was a choice. Like, we know that.
Choices were
So
made. Yeah.
choices were made, and I don't appreciate it.
It was very, very interesting. And then the finale. So it was legit 10 o'clock when the
Yeah.
when the final started, when the main event started. Again,
Yeah.
20 minutes. We timed it. 20
Yes.
minutes just for the entrances, which were cool
Yeah.
because they had lots of pyro and shit, but still.
Oh, it was a lot. I know. I'm like pulling up the photos because these are all amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you have all like Cody
cool.
on his entrance looked amazing. Like Seth with his
Seth,
couture.
yeah.
He looks ridiculous from where we were sitting, but it looks really amazing on camera. And then Roman just looked like Roman, which was funny. Oh, and then The Rock, like, I want to see what these like. If you're not watching on YouTube,
The Rock's entrance in person was really cool.
Yes, with the fire, and
With
he's
the
literally
fire.
walking through fire. Like, sir, okay, what?
He was doing a lot, and you could just tell it's because he's the only person who wasn't going to get like another like entrance the next day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was beautiful though. That match, it started out so freaking slow, and we were talking about it.
I was
like, what are we doing? Why are we so slow right now? Because you people hate each other. You people hate each other. Like, fight. Plus, it's cold. Just get at it quick. Run around in circles if you have to.
They were like staring at each other for like another 5 minutes. I was like, come on, y'all.
It was actually like not a fun, at least the definitely the start of the match was not fun to watch. It was not fun.
Yes, but then when they started like brawling to the outside and stuff like that, I was like, wait, what are the rules here? Because like nobody was getting counted out.
Well, that's because The Rock, like we talked about this, because there was a point where The Rock was yelling at the ref, like, don't count. I'm like, what? Just count them out. Then we can all go home sooner.
You're right. They did. And so it was cool, like in stadium, but it was also kind of like, dog, I don't even know where to look because like Roman and Cody were on the entrance ramp and we could only kind of see them from where we were. And then The Rock and Seth were like on the other side.
Yeah, and what's also interesting is like, I don't know what it was like on the show, but on the screen, they were just showing Seth and The Rock brawling while Cody and Roman were brawling on the ramp. So I wasn't clear on that. And then I was like, are Cody and Roman just kind of like doing this for the crowd or like buying? Like it was so strange because none of it was really consequential.
No,
but it was cool. We love a brawl.
Yeah.
But you know, it's especially cold up on the ramp because like there's nothing blocking them at all. Like what?
And for us, like once they got to a certain point on the ramp, it was kind of like we can't see, like we couldn't see them from where we were sitting.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. It was very interesting trying to like keep up with where everybody was, but I do think that it made for a really good match, and the ending was good. So definitely a fun main event. But again, at that point, I was like, can I feel my feet?
Yeah, no.
I think I can't feel my feet.
Yeah, and like
that's how cool it was.
No, I mean, and like again, we saw The Rock pinning Cody, so there was that. That was again interesting to see. Like, I think that was the right choice because for some reason I thought like Seth would get pinned, which to me isn't really the right choice.
Yeah, because Seth is technically a champion. Was a champion right then, so you didn't want him taking the pin.
Yeah, it is annoying though that we'll get into it. I don't know. We'll get into it. We will get
Yeah,
into it. But
we
it's
will.
annoying
We're
it's
gonna be
annoying
here.
that The Rock has his championship. Like
That
what?
champion, right? I know. It's like he just had his made up championship, which is kind of funny. I think that adds to the character. Like yeah, he
Yeah,
just
no,
make up the belt.
100%. It adds to the
Yeah,
character for sure.
yeah. So that's it for our like perceptions of like night one being there.
Hmm.
And all that. So let's talk about like night two. Like by night two, I was back at home, like
Yeah.
enjoying it from my couch, and I was like, this made for a better experience for me in a sense of like just being able to not be freezing cold.
I mean, just watching it was
Yeah,
great. At like not being at a watch party, nothing like that. Like, like WrestleMania it takes a lot out of you.
it does.
But I have to say, before we get to any of the matches, like just to acknowledge her, that Stephanie McMahon
Oh,
was
right.
back,
She
which
opened
is
it up.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Was
opened
she
it up.
back or she just
She's back. She's back.
hmm,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, whatever. Anyway.
They were just like, y'all, we are hammering this into your head. This is Triple
Yeah,
H's era. This is era of Triple H,
they
new
really
era,
did. Yeah.
era. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I
Good,
mean,
I guess.
great. Yeah, better than what we had before.
Exactly. Um,
And
so it
so we
opens
had
up with Drew and Seth.
yeah,
And this, oh my god, this was so good. Between Drew's
both entrances.
Yes,
Oh
between
my
Drew's
gosh.
entrance of the Scottish Warriors to Seth's the Mummers. Like James had
Yeah.
to tell me about the Mummers stuff because like apparently like Mummers are a big thing in Philadelphia and they
Mhm.
have like
Oh my
Mummers
god.
parades and stuff like that in
That I mean, they
Philadelphia.
basically had a mummers parade at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Like what?
it's
Come
a
on.
big thing in Philly. And Mummers, if people don't know, are kind of like they're like clowns, like they're like clowns and entertainers and stuff like that. Mummers come from like old English form of like jesters and stuff like that.
Mm,
And I thought it was so funny that like Seth kind of turned his The Rock was calling him a clown and he turned
mhm.
that into something that celebrated the city they were in. It looked
Wow.
fantastic. It was
Yeah.
amazing. This entrance was just amazing. I loved it so much.
I loved it. And I love that we started the night with this match. And I mean, Mari, like the whole thing about this match, other than the actual match itself, was just like we've been talking about we've been
Mhm.
talking about this for weeks.
We
Like
have been.
we
We
knew,
knew.
we've been
It
new.
was it was so good. First, Seth and Drew put on an amazing match. An
Hmm.
amazing match. Drew wins, and like I don't even know if it's like we can't even say if it's a character break or not because Drew is like it's like was Drew the heel? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
he talked about wanting that title so much and stuff like that. So and he's doing like the boyhood dream come true, and they're putting it over on commentary like this is the first time that Drew has won this championship in front of people. And
Yeah.
yeah, and even Seth gives him like looks and says, "You deserve it," and da 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 da. And you're like, Seth, dog, yes,
Oh my god. They better
and
have these. Oh my god. They bet. Oh my gosh, Mari. Part
mhm,
2 of it though. So we
I
get
know.
like all of this stuff with CM Punk, and
Mhm,
Drew just like really can't help but rub it in
he
to CM
can't.
Punk, like to a level that is definitely unnecessary.
I, you know me, I love Drew the hater, so I love that. I was like, rub it in, but then Punk attacked him from behind viciously,
Yeah.
and then starts to beat him with his arm brace, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, because we all know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Damian Priest comes in and cashes in. That was that was the quickest ref cash in I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah,
life.
they didn't question it. They didn't
Thank
really question
God.
it at all.
I cause I hate when the ref this you want to cash it
Look at
in,
that. Yeah.
cash,
Mhm.
cash,
Mhm.
cash it in. You
Trick it.
sure? Like, just
Yeah.
cash the briefcase in, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
saying
play
cash
games.
it in. So
And it was a
that,
beautiful moment because the
it was
crowd
great.
erupted. Like
Yeah.
it was perfect because it immediately you felt like they've been talking so much, Mari, in the last couple months about the 2K ratings. I feel like
Mhm.
Damian Priest's 2K rating like shot up 10 points in that
Yeah.
moment. Like good for him. And it was what it needed to be. Like Drew
Mhm.
had his moment, but also CM Punk and Drew set up what they're gonna do whenever Punk is back. And then Priest got his belt, which
Yeah.
good for
I
him.
mean, that's what happens when they put the Mr. Money in the Bank on somebody. You want them to successfully cash in. So
Yeah.
like it was good. I was like, man, I felt so bad for Drew because I wanted Drew to hold it longer, but
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. That was amazing. That was a great opener too. It was good.
It was, and this so fun. It was a
Yeah,
fun way
this
to start
card,
the show, but like
yeah.
the next match was even fun. Like it was
Was
a
it? Which was it? The Final Testament?
yeah.
Yeah, the Vinyl Testament versus the Pride. Final Testament is Karen Cross and the Authors of Pain versus Bobby Lashley and Street Profits. And then we
Yeah.
had like B-Fab and Scarlett going at it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Uncle Snoop.
Snoop
Oh
Dogg. So
yes.
that's what was so fun.
That
But
was
we're like
so
on
fun.
Snoop on commentary is
Snoop on
hilarious because
commentary
like
was so good.
it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad for like wrestling commentary, but clearly he's like, oh, what's that move? And it's like that was just a Russian leg sweep. Like, calm down. Like he didn't. It is an arm drag. Like, calm down. Snoop is like one of a kind, and he
He's
had
good.
his gold championship out with him. His gin and
Yes.
juice shirt, which was very on brand. Maybe this was like a gin and juice product placement because I know they were promoting it that night. And then
Yes, they were.
and then Bubba Ray Dudley was there too.
Right. This was the moment where I was like, what is happening right now? Because
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it.
at first I was like, why do they keep adding so many people to commentary? They already had 3 people on commentary, and then you had
Mhm.
CM Punk on there, and then you had
Mhm.
Snoop, and then Bubba Ray Dudley all of a sudden was the referee. It was
Yeah.
like, huh? But then it's like, this is WrestleMania, you know? Snoop added such a fun level to it on commentary. I was cracking up. Then Bubba
Yeah.
Ray like eventually getting in on it. The Street Profits, it actually, it was so weird because the Street Profits versus the Pride versus Final Testament going into WrestleMania was supposed to be like such an intense feud, and we're talking in the backstage and there's shadows and stuff. You know, it's supposed to be like an intense feud, but once they actually had the match, because of like all of the shenanigans, it ended up just kind of being like really fun and goofy in a sense.
And because of Snoop, like I mean, he added so much to it. Bubba Ray is so goofy. Like all
Yeah.
of it is so funny. There are a couple things. One, and it's never gonna like not make me just put that down. It's never gonna like not make me uncomfortable when Bubba Ray tells black wrestlers to get the tables. I'm just I don't know what like what are we doing? Why do
I
we
don't know.
always have to do that? Why do we always have to do
But
that? Like I
people
get
wanted
the
the
Devon thing,
tables.
but where the hell is Devon? And where's his paycheck? Why couldn't he referee?
True. Yeah.
Always the
Testify.
bridesmaid, never the bride. Yeah,
Yeah.
testify. Which probably would have worked well with the Final Testament, but here we
Yeah.
go. I mean, I will also point out, you of course you remember this from that match, but at the very end, they went for the table spot to put one
Oh
of them through
yeah.
the table, and then the table didn't. Oh no, the table
It
broke.
just broke, and
It
then they
broke.
had to
I
get
mean,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah, and then they had to
They're
get
like,
another
"We'll
one.
get another table."
Yeah, so it worked out, but that was a little funny.
It all kind of felt goofy, but
Yeah, a little
in
goofy.
a fun way that I was like, okay, and now it definitely looks like they're moving on, so that's good.
Yeah,
The
but you
Pride
know what?
one.
Yeah, this was obviously. I mean, when you have Snoop involved, which definitely did feel kind of random. Like from a story perspective, it
Did
felt
we
random,
miss
but
something?
I
Like,
get
did
it.
they announce this beforehand? I feel like none of this was announced beforehand.
I mean,
It was funny
I
though.
like it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
Bubba Ray being there felt random, but it works too.
it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cute. Cute,
Um,
cute, cute.
LA Knight versus AJ Style. I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't watch a lick of this one.
I
I
don't
did.
remember it.
I had to give my son a bath. And I was like,
I'm
I'm gonna
happy
do
for
it
you.
during this one. So,
Yeah, it was a match.
but LA,
And
and then now
he
it doesn't
won.
even matter because they're about to fight again. So I'll see it.
No, but they're gonna fight again. So LA Knight wins, of course. Not a lot to write home about. Even
Mhm.
like flipping through the pictures of it, Mari, they're all kind of boring. But anyway, LA Knight wins, and AJ is gonna beat him. AJ is gonna beat him in the return match to then face Cody. Like, there's no way LA Knight's
Knight
not
wins
facing Cody.
twice. Yeah.
It's great because AJ has an updated theme song. He has his new bad
Does he?
attitude. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is,
Oh.
but it's new. And yeah, like he was in the Bullet Club and Cody was in the Bullet Club, and they have a little like history and story there. So
Yeah, I'm sure it was a good match, Sarah. I just
oh
again,
yeah, we're
no
sure.
stakes.
Definitely was a good match.
Yeah, and
Just
again, they're about to run it back, so it's just kind of like,
yeah.
The United States Championship match, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. This one also felt kind of like I don't know. Something about the layout. I thought it was cute. Like the entrances were cute. KO and Randy working together was like
Mhm.
so fun and so cute. But it was just like, what are we doing here? Kind of, you know? There wasn't much big spots.
I mean, there's the
Logan,
prime guy getting
oh
assaulted by
yes.
Randy.
Speed, yeah.
Speed.
What's his name? Something Speed. That was the funnest part. I was like, dog, put that dude through a table. Something about his demeanor felt like he didn't understand. He's no KSI. You know what I'm saying?
No, and he
KSI,
was. Please keep going.
yes, KSI felt like he had a little bit more respect when he was in that prime bottle. I felt like
Mm.
Speed was disrespecting Randy in that prime bottle. So
And he
I,
was cursing at him.
yes. Well, so when Randy like kicked him, I was like, yes. And then when Randy, I
I
show
show Speed.
Speed. I don't know who that is.
No, I don't know what that means.
I'm old.
That's his
And
name.
and then when he bounced him off that announce table, I was like, and that's what you get. That's what you
Yeah.
get.
You know, I mean, and I think for us too, like all very fun competitors are all very like great competitors, but Logan Paul was winning. And by this
Yeah, with
point
the
in the
brass
night,
knucks.
you're just like, okay, like let's keep going. Like we're in the middle of it. Like let's get to the main event. It's kind of hard to be like really present with a match like this where I mean Logan Paul hopefully holds the belt until SummerSlam in Cleveland
Mhm,
and then drops it to LA Knight, maybe, who knows? But
mhm.
um yeah, it was cute. It was
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, it was
It was
alright.
to be expected.
And I just kind of wanted Randy and KO to kind of be on like the same team. Like they're so funny together. Like I'd much rather them tag than hurt each other. So
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
that wasn't fun when they were fighting.
Yeah.
Um so oh yeah, they said that they think they're setting up Randy and Logan because Kevin was pinned and not Randy.
Oh.
Could
Randy
be.
and Logan.
I don't know because
Maybe.
like there was no follow up this week except for Logan Paul just being like, "Hey, find me a contender or something or other."
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
The WWE Women's Championship match between Io Sky and Bailey. This was a really good match. I completely uh misinterpreted who Bailey came out dressed as. I was like, "Oh, I am really old." I
Who
saw
did you
like
think that was?
I thought it was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Wait. It's
I thought it was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
yeah, same. Same. It does look like the little
Uh,
dragon what's it called? Blue Eyes White Dragon.
No, 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 actual Yu-Gi-Oh, like with his thing.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, but it was it's Overwatch, the Overwatch game or something.
Okay. I can't comment on
Exactly.
that.
I don't know what
One
it
way or the
is.
other. I don't know.
Exactly.
But like,
Um,
I love this match so much because the emotional stakes are there. Like
yeah,
with AJ and LA Knight, we didn't have the emotional stakes. With Logan Paul and Randy and KO, we didn't have the emotional stakes. This was just so emotional because you're just rooting for Bailey, and even if she loses, and in kayfabe, obviously, like it just feels like a little bit like a shoot, like it hurts. Your heart breaks a little bit. You're like, give her moment, but that's not what happened.
see,
We got a beautiful match.
Med was with me though. See, female magician of darkness. That is right up the Yu-Gi-Oh alley.
That
Like,
one, I forgot about her.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it was a reference that we didn't get, but I did like the dark magician.
Yeah.
But I did like the outfit. I did like the new song is like good. I think it'll have to
Sure.
grow on me.
Mhm.
The role model is back. We knew it. We said she was coming back. The role model is back, but now the role model is the role model. This like you said, it was so compelling. The story between her and Io were so compelling, and it's what drew it. They did such a good job, put on an amazing match, and it was just so like inspirational to see Bailey win here. She busted out like the hugger like joint
Oh
too.
yeah, of
Like she
course. She
busted out like
better.
all of her, all of
I
her
love
moves.
it. I
Mhm.
love it. Bailey's so great, and I just also love how all of the different wrestlers talk about her. But I loved the finishing sequence where she did that suplex and then she did the elbow drop.
Elbow. Mhm.
And then did she end it with a rose plant? Maybe.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. It
Io
was a
had
few few.
countered the rose plant earlier in the match,
Yeah.
but she hit it. Bailey hit the
Aw,
rose plant. Yeah, and they called it
gosh.
the rose plant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
This was beautiful.
It was great. It was amazing.
We love that for
Ag-
her.
Again,
She
something that's logical that we've seen coming for months, but you just want to see it pay off.
And you know what? I like how her reaction wasn't even like sobbing tears. Like she just was like, I
I
deserve this. I
deserve
want
this.
it.
Yep,
I want it. Like it's hers. It was hers already.
yep. And then finally, we got the undisputed
Wow.
WWE Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and this was a Bloodline Rules match.
We have to start with the entrances because Cody had his little logo mask on.
Mhm.
But my favorite wrestler of
Okay.
all time. Oh, damn, they don't have a picture of
Of
her
course
here.
they don't.
Okay.
Brandy Rhodes
Wow. Brandy
messed
Rhodes,
up.
who by the way was the first black commentator at WrestleMania back in 2015.
Oh,
Or not
nice.
commentator, but announcer, like ring
Announcer.
announcer,
Mhm.
made history. Good for her. So she made her WrestleMania return, escorting Cody out, talking him up, hyping him up, and
Mhm.
then like it was just so beautiful. Even compared with like his night one entrance, it just felt even bigger for
Oh
good
yeah.
reason,
They
obviously,
did,
right?
they definitely saved all of the shenanigans for this night, like the pyro and all that.
Roman didn't have shenanigans though.
Again, he
He just
didn't?
was Roman. I
Hmm.
don't think he really did. It
Yeah.
just was normal.
Yeah. I think there's pyro. There's always pyro.
Sure,
Um,
pyro, but like wear a
mhm.
coat, wear a vest, maybe like a little hat. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just want like a little anything, anything.
So this match was like, it was going.
Hmm.
It was good. It was fine. And then, oh my gosh, the shenanigans, and they shenaned again because, like,
The Jimmy was out there, or no, yeah, Jimmy
yes,
was out there, and then Jay
they
eats
came out
himself out
there.
there.
Gets
There's
himself.
like a whole,
They go
and then
into a.
that was
Mhm.
wild. The spear or tackle off of the ramp through those tables,
Through
like
those
that
tables.
sounded painful. It sounded painful.
And I was like, "Yep, they're out. That's great. Like they're
Yeah,
fine."
it's like I know I felt like I was doing math problems where I was like, okay, like this one, okay, we'll like
This
cancel the
person's
two
gonna come with
out.
this.
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, like okay, we don't have to worry about them anymore. This was so fun as it was happening because
Yeah.
like between it all, like I want to say so that happens, and
And
then who
then
was out next?
Solo comes
Solo
out to try and help, and
with the
Solo
Simone
spikes
thing.
Cody. He's like dragging Roman like onto Cody, and John Cena's music hits because Solo had taken out John Cena.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which like then you're like, oh, we see what they're doing here, right? So that was cute, and
Mm-hmm. So
I don't
yeah,
know. It's
John
just
Cena takes out Solo, which I was like. Then The Rock comes out, takes out Cena and Cody, I
way too.
believe.
He took out Cena and Cody way too easily, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, he took out Cena, who, by the way, Cena looking relatively very pale these days. But you know what? Stay
Mm,
out of the tanning
yeah,
bed.
mm.
Stay out of it. I know they were like, come on.
They're
I
like,
just love
"Oh, our twice in a lifetime reference is great."
Yeah, that was cute.
Mhm.
I mean, but better than Hulk Hogan, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could have
Very, yeah,
really done that. They could have
they
done that
really
to
could.
us.
I know this is the part we were texting each other and
Yeah, because
you
I
were
was
wait
like, "Oh, wait," when Solo came out, I was like, "Oh, okay, Cena's gonna come out, and then The Rock's gonna come out, and then Stone Cold's gonna come out," which obviously we didn't get Stone Cold,
yeah.
so
It was just so funny. And then like so after The Rock dispatches um Cena and is about to injure Cody, we hit the dong and the Undertaker comes out.
yeah.
Um Cena's hair was very distracting me. Anyways, but yeah, so Undertaker takes out The Rock. It was great. It was so funny. Like the fact that you text me, you were like, "That wasn't as overbooked as I thought." I was like, "That wasn't overbooked."
No, I thought it was gonna be crazier than that. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be one for one, like, this
Yeah,
person comes, does a thing, that person comes. Like,
yeah.
I was expecting more because my math was thrown off when The Undertaker showed up. Because I
Mhm.
thought, wait, Stone Cold still needs to show up. So who's gonna take out The Undertaker?
Nobody. The Undertaker just disappeared. It's
Yeah,
like
I
I
know.
did
It
my
was like
thing.
The Undertaker and The Rock kind of just disappeared, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably both went under the ring.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
It was funny. And then we get
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes hitting the triple crossroads on Roman, which is funny because earlier in the match, Roman hits a crossroad on Cody and Cody kicks out, and he's like that finisher's whack. Nobody gets out to that. That was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good, man. That
But
match was
but
great. It was
but
worth
wait, Seth.
Oh God! Oh my God! Like I forgot. Not the Shield himself. Like
Yeah.
uh, Seth. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about Seth. We gotta talk about. We did get a. I'll do it here. We did get a question about Seth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, who
Shout
also
out.
just said, yeah, just wanting to wish Mariama all the best with the new baby. Thank you.
Thank
And to
you.
give Seth freaking Rollins all the flowers. He was the unsung hero of the weekend, especially considering not so long ago it looked like he might not even be at Mania at all. And that I forgot about that. That's how much I forgot about how he had just got over a
Wow.
knee injury. And he ended up being such an integral part of Mania weekend, working 2 matches, putting on the amazing match with Drew, and then coming back out to cost Roman this match because he got into
Yeah.
Roman's head when the Shield music went off. Yo, when the Shield music went off, people were like, I saw some people who were like, they
Uh-huh.
thought it was Dean. They thought it was
Dean
Dean.
Ambrose. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oof. I was
no.
look, and the fact that Seth not only had 2 matches, he put in so much, but he dyed his hair, Mari, mid-show. He dyed his
Okay.
hair.
I was wondering. I was like, wait, I don't
I mean,
remember.
it's not a wig.
I was truly like, wait, did he? Yeah. Wait, pull the pictures up. You think he legit dyed his hair mid-show?
I mean, his hair is blonde or like wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to go back to the pictures of the first match because I'm like, did he like have his hair in an updo? Or oh no, his hair has always looked like that. It just
Okay,
looked
thank
extra shieldy, thank God,
It did
right?
look extra shieldy. It felt extra shieldy, yeah.
But I swear he added some extra something to it, juiced it up a little bit because it does look different. I just
Greased.
don't know what it is. I don't know. Yeah, I think someone says I think it's just
Yes, I think that's Stephanie. She said that it looked extra
Facebook
greased.
user. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that part was great. Even though he like ran in with the chair and immediately got speared, and then Roman took the chair and beats him with the chair, and then again he tries to pop in again, and Roman has the chair, and he has the decision to either hit Cody with the chair or hit Seth with the chair, and he decides to hit Seth with the chair, and that's what cost him. It was so good. Like
Talk
that,
about a
yes.
dumb
Seth
choice. Like,
deserves
think
to go
about it.
rest.
Think
Mhm.
about it. Why did he didn't have to make the
He's
choice?
still hurt from that betrayal 10 years
It's
ago, Matt.
so Shakespearean.
It's great.
God, I wasn't even ready for it. My favorite thing though about this whole night was obviously Cody winning, but Cody had his whole celebration with all of the people, his entire family, all of it. And then like all these other wrestlers came out. Like it felt so good. His mom got to hold the championship. She started crying, which it's like a big moment when his mom, who I feel like has been so stoic on the sidelines, like she was sobbing. It was beautiful. You had the hug with Triple H. You had Cody's moment. But Mari, low-key, my favorite part of all of this, and I'm so angry that there are no pictures of her in this moment. But when Brandy was in the ring, because like everyone's just kind of being human, like there wasn't like a storyline happening as everyone was celebrating. Why is Brandy dancing to Cody's theme song?
Oh,
she was dancing to it. She's like bouncing, like doing all that. I'm like, okay, I didn't realize this was as danceable as it apparently is, but clearly, I stand the family.
It's a great way to end a really great WrestleMania weekend. I mean, so much fun. That was good. They might actually be right when they say it was the biggest WrestleMania ever. Like that was good, man.
Yeah.
It was truly good. Yeah, so that's it for the WrestleMania stuff. We're going 2 hours. We're going over because this will be the last wrestling wrap up for a while. And I have to go and I gotta go and have a baby.
I'm trying to think. I was really trying to think of like a storyline where someone actually had where there was a pregnancy involved, but all of those storylines are
really bad.
Mae Young in the hands with Mark Henry, sexual talk with Mark Henry. I'm sorry,
Snitsky and Lita's baby.
We just watched. Oh my god, we just saw that clip the
Yeah.
other day. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of the fallout from WrestleMania. Of course, we probably should have did this as we were going through, but it's fine. It's okay.
We do what we want.
We do what we want, and it's fine. And we'll try and keep this as quick as possible.
We will. We can't be here forever.
We cannot.
That's for sure.
So Cody comes out. Cody came out on Raw, and I was like, "This ain't your show." Like, but it's okay. It's fine.
What do you mean? I mean, what show's his show?
SmackDown. That's the SmackDown belt. Yes.
Well, Cody's a Raw guy though.
But that's the SmackDown belt.
But he's a Raw boy.
Anyways, so Cody comes out, and then The Rock comes out, and again, a very long, a very long like pause promo. The crowd, not letting him speak for a while. Him telling them that they broke the record for most trailer park trash.
Which I'm like, I mean, don't don't do that to Philly. Like, I mean,
Right.
I'm not even gonna talk about that. No
Yeah,
comment.
exactly.
Philly
So,
people are lovely.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
But essentially, The Rock and his fake title that he says was given to him by who is it? Somebody's wife. I forget. I forget whose wife gave it to him. I forget.
That
He said it in the promo. Um,
yeah.
but basically, The Rock saying he has to go away for Hollywood, which we know. We know that The Rock he has to go away for a while to shoot a movie. He said when he comes back, he's coming for Cody. And it was like, okay, that was it. Like, it was fun. It was fun.
Muhammad Ali's wife.
Yes, Muhammad Ali's wife. Thank you,
Thank
chat. Yeah,
you.
it's a cool belt. Honestly, it is really cool belt, like the People's Champion belt with his logo. But it's just so funny of
Mhm.
him holding it like there's no lineage. It's not a thing. Like
Yeah, but
it's a
speaking of holding it,
it's a
what
cute
the
accessory
hell? Why did we? Why did they why did they switch championships?
because he wanted to hold Cody's and
That made me really uncomfortable.
like
Like, why is The
he
Rock
was gonna
holding
run
it?
off with it.
Well, because like what went through my mind, and I don't know if we're gonna see this payoff anytime soon. Like he's gonna run off with it. No, I really was thinking like, oh, The Rock. So The Rock pinned Cody on
Mhm,
night one,
mhm,
and he has this photo op now wearing the championship. Like,
mhm.
I mean, The Rock has so many followers, he could just claim to be the champion, and like people would believe it because they don't necessarily watch wrestling. And I thought, like, that's where my mind went. Where I'm like, oh, The Rock's gonna be really like trolling on social media with that belt, but we haven't seen a payoff to that yet. And I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think it was just a setup for when he comes back.
That and him handing Cody
His
the
belt.
little no, that and handing Cody whatever item he passed to him
Oh,
that
right.
in it. What
Mhm.
I can't Mari, do you have any idea what he I feel like it might have been like a fortune cookie with some like good advice. Because like what could be that
I'm done with
small?
guessing. I'm done with guessing what The Rock does. Like,
A
honestly.
key, and I'm really annoyed that Cody, even as recently as SmackDown, like Cody didn't just tell us.
Mhm.
Just tell us, like, what did he give you? But the beauty of it is in storyline, whenever The Rock comes back, like they could say whatever they want.
Exactly.
He might
Mhm.
not have given Cody anything,
Anything.
literally, like in reality, and then they could just claim it's whatever.
Yeah. Ooh, some people say it's part of the tribal chief necklace. That'd be fun. Like, it could be anything. That's what I'm like, I'm not guessing what The Rock does anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm here for the ride. Cody did go to SmackDown and he
He did.
announced a like six men would be eligible to become number one contender. So we had two triple threat matches. We had LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley versus Santos Escobar. And then we had
Mhm.
Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. So I think it was pretty much a given that LA Knight was gonna win that first one to me.
Yeah, and so it was LA Knight, Lashley, and Santos.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the other one with AJ, Ray, and KO. I mean, Ray and
That one I
Santos have a
wasn't
thing
sure.
going on. I
Yeah.
knew it wasn't gonna be Ray.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna be Ray, but like, between AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, I wasn't sure. Kevin Owens had cut a really cool promo where he walked from the back to the stage. He's so funny. He knocked over some CM Punk shirts. He told Bruce to hit his music and
Oh,
told Jimmy to catch his mic. Kevin Owens, like,
cute.
I don't want to say I keep forgetting how good he is because nobody forgets how good he is. It's just he's just so good. And like
He
you just
he plays his role so well that
yes.
like AJ, where like he
Mhm.
blends into the background when he's not supposed to be the featured performer, and
Right.
he could be in the front when he's supposed to be in the front. Like that's
Exactly.
doing his job.
Doing their job. And that the Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens match, I will tell all you guys. Again, all of the clips are available in our very handy playlist, highlights playlist, all that good stuff. But like that match was so good. Like that match, I was like, what are these people doing to their bodies? There's like a triple back suplex. There was all these things off the top rope. And then to finish it off, AJ Styles hit a Styles Clash on Rey Mysterio from the top rope, like on KO, rolled into the pin. Like I was like,
What the hell?
that was cold.
That for me was a reminder, the reminder I needed of how great AJ is. And sure, you could put him on the mic and do his thing, but like I need the one part of heel AJ for me sometimes is that we don't get like the just like I'll call it like the high flying like Rey Mysterio of it all, where it's just like all of the cool stuff he could do.
That's true.
But
That's true.
that was the coolest finish. Like, and I didn't even really truly see it coming. Like, especially the way he just rolled in effortlessly.
I was scared because I hate when they hit Styles clashes because if people mess those up,
tuck your neck.
Yeah.
You know what? And to be fair, like very few people mess that up.
It's true. Very few people.
Thankfully.
And it's not on him,
No.
Yeah. So, but Ray took that perfectly. And the way that I don't even understand how the physics worked for them to tuck and roll like that off of KO's body. Like,
I know. It's the things that we just don't appreciate how talented they are. But the physics, the physical one. They should call him the physical one.
Because of that, we are getting AJ versus LA Knight again. So, I'm assuming next week on SmackDown.
Yeah,
because they have to figure out. Yeah, they have to figure out who's going to be next up for the Lyon, France show, which is on May 4th, which is like in 2 weeks. Like that's basically.
Damn, they better be packing already.
It's on May 4th. Yeah, like
too soon.
I will be getting induced like 2 days after that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's basically my birthday.
Yeah, that's basically
almost.
Your birthday.
There we go. So, I mean, Mari, they can't do a show on May 4th. That's too soon. What am I talking about? They're constantly doing shows. Like
they
are. I'm tired for these people.
Backlash in France, May 4th. Book it.
In France. In France.
Parlez-vous français. Then, of course, we gotta talk about this Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Like, this was so good. Like, when I tell you guys, like, I've never been like a really, really big Drew McIntyre fan. Like, I've always been like, okay, cool. Like, he's cool. I am like, he is so good right now. Like, his promo where he said he was coming for CM Punk, it's CM Punk's fault that he only got 5 minutes and 46 seconds to celebrate his title win. The crowd was turned on him. He said that's 5 minutes longer than most of y'all make love. I was Drew heel / tweener Drew, whatever, is like giving me life. He even in character stopped and gave Seth props for going out on his shield and their warriors. And he's like, CM Punk, you want to know anything about that? Like, Drew is so good. Yes, Drew's on social media has been hilarious. He stopped in the middle of his WrestleMania match and said, "Bored at work, LOL." He sent out that tweet. That was so like, I don't know what it is, Matt, but I am so into Drew's character right now. I love it so much.
I think it's because he has a very clear character and he's being given the space to just do it all. Like we used to just get menacing Drew or heroic Drew with a sword. Like the sword was his gimmick.
Yeah.
But now we have a fully formed human.
Yes.
Who could be funny, who could be snarky, who could be like this badass also. So I mean, to me, I don't know why we didn't get that from him before. Maybe just because the previous era thought like, okay, him as a one-dimensional like badass is enough.
Exactly. Like Drew is he's just so good, and he's just so passionate using the title driving him and stuff like that, but not just a like, I want your title. Like, but
No.
in yeah, it's so amazing. And
Mhm.
he was so close. He was in the number one contender fatal 4-way. And right before he's about to win, CM Punk holds his leg and Jey Uso ends up becoming the number one contender.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, CM Punk is the bad guy to me here. I don't care. CM Punk is the bad guy in this
No comment. No comment. I just think CM Punk was
Uh,
justified. I just feel like he was justified. in
Why? How
whatever
is he
he does.
justified for costing this man the title twice? Nope.
Well, but that's the thing about CM Punk. He is just like that's
I
his
mean,
character. Like he's kind of
yeah.
a troll, you know?
Yeah.
In a
And
weird
they're
way,
and
he
they're
is a troll.
and they're
Yeah.
kayfabe going with like Drew McIntyre is the one who injured him type thing. I think that's
Yeah.
like kayfabe, yeah.
Sure.
And that he relished his injury and all that, but so it's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
know
Jey
what?
Uso versus Damian Priest. I'm assuming again at Backlash. That's why they have to have all these. They got to get these number one contenders like out of the way, so then they can now start building the storyline since they only have 3 weeks to do it. And good for Jay. I'm glad that he's getting that opportunity. The crowd, of course, loves Jay, but
Mhm.
I found it very weird that like Damian Priest, so Cody opened Raw. Damian Priest isn't even on WWE's actual YouTube. Like the segment with Priest and Ray, no, he's not on WWE's YouTube. I had to go to WWE on
Uh-oh.
Fox, I believe,
Fox,
in
yeah.
order to get this clip. But Priest and Rhea were celebrating their wins. We get this interruption by R-Truth that
Mhm.
leads to R-Truth and Miz versus John Cena. John Cena
Right.
ends up showing up, which was really funny, versus Finn, JD, and Dominic.
Yeah.
So like
That
Priest
makes sense.
didn't like Priest is the champion here, and he didn't get
Ye
much on his own show. Again, he's holding the Raw belt. He's holding the world championship. So and then
Mm.
even Drew said that belt is mine. I'm going to make you he called him Bondage Undertaker, and he said I am going
Which, like,
to make you a
yeah.
transitional yeah. I'm going to make
Valid.
you a transitional champion. And I was like, "Oh no, he said that out loud." Like I feel bad for Damian Priest because that's what I mean, I immediately was like, "Oh, he's going to be a transitional champion."
No.
But I didn't want to I don't it's not good when they say it out loud.
I don't think I don't worry about it. Because there's a lot of story with Damien, with the Judgment Day, with the dynamics there, with Finn. Like, I would love to see Judgment Day, not even necessarily like fully break up, but just to implode around that championship.
Me too.
Because there's a lot that they could do. And just remember, we're in a different era. We're officially in the Triple H era, which, by the way, I feel like they could have named it a little bit better. Like, not just having it be about him. But anyway, I am okay. Like Priest is going to be okay because Priest would also be an epic babyface champion. They were the press conference that they had after night 2. I actually watched the whole thing, which is part of why it just messed up my sleep schedule for the whole week. But basically, like I watched it and they're talking about like the representation piece of things, and he's just so lovable.
That is true.
He'd be a great
I do love him
babyface.
too. That's true.
Let's hope that they keep it on him for a
I do.
while. Like maybe even until maybe even Money in the Bank. And if someone cashes in on him and takes it, fine. But like, I need him to have it till at least the summer. Like,
yeah,
that's what I want.
I don't want it off of him anytime soon. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. It was very funny that like Chelsea Green here is so hilarious with her character. She was like, "How can you not have me on WrestleMania? I demanded a match tonight on Raw." And she gets her match. It's against Jade Cargill, who does a really quick squash match against Chelsea Green on Raw. Chelsea Green is amazing. She still got her character over in the squash. The squash match made sense
Mhm.
for Jade's character. It made Chelsea's character even funnier. Great showing on Raw. And then on SmackDown, shout out to Piper Niven. Piper Niven is back. I think
Mhm.
she was recovering from an injury, and her and Chelsea was like, Chelsea is so hilarious. She's like, Adam Pierce is so mean, but you, Nick, you're like really awesome. So you're gonna give us some opponents that you're gonna give us some good opponents. And Nick was like, yeah, I sure am. And they go out to the ring, and Jade Cargill comes out again, which is just so hilarious. And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And they were
No,
like,
I
well,
mean,
they're like, who's her tag team partner, Matt?
the one and only Bianca Belair,
Bianca
the
Belair.
queen. Oh my god, and they look so amazing together. Like,
They did.
what? I
And
need to like
immediately Chelsea is like, no, like Chelsea is like losing it on the side of the ring because she's mad.
Yeah, no, she knows. She knows. But like, what a super team. I
Oh
mean,
my god.
the only thing I don't really love about it. Well, actually, I love this team in general.
Mhm.
Actually, I love them so much in all of the ways. The one part that sucks though is that Jade Jade in particular is so dominant that we don't get like we get these short matches. Like
Mhm.
I can't wait till we get to a competitive match for
Yeah.
Jade. In particular, Bianca has competitive matches like all the time.
Yeah.
But I do love that they get to rest their bodies
Mhm.
compared with like the Iron Woman type of work like this,
And
and
it
they
makes
all
sense because again, this is Chelsea and Piper. Like
yeah,
Bianca did all of the heavy lifting, and then Jade came in for
literally
the kill.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait. They also did a backstage exclusive where they basically said they were like, "Hey, are y'all going for the tag titles?" And they're like, "Well, you just said it, so I think we will. I think we'll." And I'm like, "Yes." Like
Mhm.
I don't know what the name for them is going to be. I hope it's going to be something good. It's going to be hard to come up with. I think like something like really really good.
Did they?
But
Oh no, they didn't actually have a name at Mania, but
mm-mm.
with Naomi,
We
it just
were calling
we
them the
just
big
said.
three. Yeah.
I thought we were saying Team Black Girl Magic, but
Oh yeah, Team Black.
but no, I mean I'm ready for it,
It's
and
so good.
I
They look
more
so
than
amazing.
every time I see them though, or specifically every time I see Jade now, I just think of all the haters who talk about how she can't wrestle, which is
Mhm.
a very weird comment to me
Mhm.
because she plays her role. Like obviously
Exactly.
she could wrestle better than a lot of people. And I don't like she doesn't have to do that in the ring. She had a great match leaving AEW against Chris Statlander. Like that was a
Mhm.
competitive match as her final one. Um, and she lost her last two matches in AEW after that like 60 match streak or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So she can do it. I just don't like when people always go back to how Jade can't wrestle and they just want to trash her. And obviously, we know Mari that there are like it's just if she wasn't a successful, strong, beautiful, graceful, talented black woman,
Mhm.
like she wouldn't get the hate that she gets. But
Yes.
here we are.
And like she said, she's like she gets paid per match, like Goldberg. Like we keep them short. Who's next? She said that online. It's so funny. So
Yeah,
I love them. I'm so glad that they're. It looks like that's going to be the program for
the
the Kabuki
queens.
Warriors. Yeah, coming up.
Ooh.
Um, Bailey is celebrating her championship win. She's thanking the audience. And then she's rudely interrupted by Tiffany Stratton, who is like, why again was I not on WrestleMania? You should face me. I know you're about to do an open challenge, so let me just interrupt. And Bailey's like, I was not gonna do an open challenge. I was actually gonna give a challenge to my friend Naomi, who just came back, who's
Yes.
awesome.
She's like, yeah, I just obviously I'm giving a like the honestly the next thing I need like one I'm pumped for what we're getting, and we need to talk this through because there's a good some good motion on it for SmackDown, but I need Tamina to get the next shot after Naomi, assuming that Bailey actually even if
Just going
Bailey
through her
loses,
friends.
I need her friends. Just line up her friends. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, I thought this was so funny because once she said Naomi, I was like, yes, and the crowd went crazy. Naomi comes out, the crowd is still popping. Naomi, I love that Naomi is getting all the love and the reactions that she deserves. But then I got scared because Naomi is like, Bailey, thank you so much, but before you give me this title, I want to earn it, and I'm gonna beat her. And I was like, no, don't do this because
just take it.
Yes, I know. I was like, because normally when faces do this, I'm like, I hate when they do this and they lose and they look stupid. But Naomi faces Tiffany and she actually wins here. Like Tiffany was building up a little undefeated streak. We thought she was gonna face Bianca. Well, not we. I didn't think so, but a lot of people were speculating that she was gonna face Bianca at WrestleMania. And Naomi gets a win against Tiffany and gets to go on to face Bailey. And I was like, yes. Oh my God, logical booking? Like what?
Yeah. No, it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. And I mean, like I feel like you have to recognize how much of an asset Naomi is. And I was actually a little worried when I saw that Jade and Bianca were teaming up because I'm like, what happens to Naomi? Well, this is what happens to Naomi. Like, this is a good spot for her. And remind people of like how great she is, but also show them how much she's improved and evolved since her last run in WWE. I do have to say, Mari, you commented on this before, and it hasn't like it just keeps bugging me and like poking away at me. The commentators, I don't really love how they talk about Naomi. I don't really love it. I don't love how Nigel and Corey Graves talk about Naomi, because Nigel was there and he was like, oh, like I remember Naomi from back in 2009. Her biggest weakness is that she's always just been too nice, and like that was one thing. And they were kind of there were positive comments they made, but I just feel like, especially with Corey Graves, he is going on and on about how athletic and talented Tiffany Stratton is.
Yeah.
She just got here. She just got here. Give Naomi her flowers. She never gets her flowers to the level that she deserves it. So
exactly. But that's why I love that the audience gives her those flowers, because not only did she get some good pops in the arena, but she was trending.
Yeah.
She always trends. So yeah. Happy that we're gonna get Bailey and Naomi. I'm trying to think the last time we got Bailey versus Naomi. I feel like it's been a minute, so that's gonna be good. Or I'm trying to think. That was never a program. Very interesting. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, no matter what. And again, they just kind of got to get these matches on the books for this pay-per-view that's coming. And then finally, what is happening to the bloodline? Roman is not there. They are kicked out of their dressing room. Solo has stepped up. We have a question here from Sarah. How do you feel about Roman's reign finally ending, and what we saw last night on SmackDown that appears the bloodline might be falling apart and destructing? So like,
what do you think?
So many things. So Roman's reign ending, it's like it had to have ended at some point. He's done an amazing job. These last 4 years have been great. I hope he goes home and rests. Like I really hope he goes and gets some good rest. He's done an amazing job, and like I'm glad that we're at a part, it ended in a way that all made sense and was really fun and was a really big thing. You know, I'm glad that
Mhm.
it was huge. Right? What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was perfect. It was a great
Mhm.
ending, great timeline. I don't feel like the bloodline is ending. I just
Right?
feel like it's
It's a
evolving.
restructure. It's a restructuring.
It's
Some
a
layoff.
restructuring, and I mean, we saw Tamatanga debut as
Tamatanga
part of it,
debuted.
and there was a lot actually that happened. So we
Yes.
get that segment where you have Paul Heyman, you have Solo, you have Jimmy, and I'm like, this feels a little weird just seeing the three of them there. Um, and what was so fascinating to me, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, like Solo and Jimmy are having a moment,
Mhm.
and Solo's telling Jimmy, "I love you. You're my
Mhm.
brother." And Jimmy's like, "I love you too." And then Tamatanga comes out, attacks, and basically, like Solo goes back to Jimmy. He's like, "I still love you. You're my brother." And and like they basically kidnap Paul Heyman because he
Yes.
wasn't on board with any of this.
Nope.
So
He
it
he
like
takes the phone, breaks the phone so
no,
he can't tell Roman.
he was trying to send Roman a voice message
Yep.
with whatever was happening, and so I love it. I feel like Solo is the new tribal chief,
Mhm.
and I'm here for it. Like, we don't
I
need
love
Roman
this.
here. We don't I love it too, and they're turning into a tag team. I mean, I didn't know
Well,
that they had to do that to Jimmy, but they
well,
did
Jimmy
it to Jimmy.
lost. So that's what you get, Jimmy. I'm sorry. You lost to Jay. It makes more sense now. Um,
Yeah.
yes, Paul Heyman thought it was gonna be him. I think Paul Heyman thought he was gonna be the one that was about to be jumped. But no, Solo's like, "You're still my wise man, so get in line." Tom
Yeah.
is here. We're taking Jimmy out. And then Jacob Fatu is still somewhere waiting in the
Yeah,
wing.
where? Where?
No, he
Where's that
signed,
man?
so he's coming too. So this could be the new bloodline. And you know, at some point we get new bloodline versus old bloodline. There's so many things you can do here, and this is great. Like as soon as you think that bloodline, you think that bloodline storyline gonna end, they find a way to keep it up. Now, Tomatonga, I don't think is related to him, and I think he's actually Tongan. I've been trying to figure that out like
Oh
since
my
last night,
uh,
but it's whatever at this point. It's fun.
you have me, like, shook with that. I hope he's Tongan. I never
Yeah,
thought
he's
about that.
mhm.
I was like, that. Let's hope that that would add up, though. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Tamatanga is just like, I mean, in his own right, like obviously he hasn't established himself in a major, or I should say, in the WWE, but he's famous for his work in Bullet Club. Like he like I don't know. I'm very interested to see what they do with him and how they establish him as a character
Mhm.
because he is a big deal. I don't know him that well, but I know he's a big
Yeah.
deal for the
Mhm.
folks who watch like New Japan and
Mhm.
the like. So I want to it's new, it's fun. And it's also fun, like it didn't feel like we had just like Raw after Mania. Like we had this whole week after Mania where stuff continues to evolve and set up itself. It was cool to
Exactly.
me that he debuted on SmackDown after Mania instead of at the Raw after Mania, because that's normally when all the people show up and do things. So
Yeah.
I'm
It was
ready
all
for it.
great. It was very good, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I Solo Solo never opens his mouth, and then he like opens his mouth for a whole night, and it's amazing. Like Solo's like, "I'll take care of it." Like I like this is good, y'all. Like this is so good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It does feel like a new era. You know, as much as they're gonna beat us over the head with it, it does feel new. It does feel different. Um, so I'm glad. Like we said, we'll be taking a break, or I'll be taking a break. Matt might.
No, we'll be taking a break unless otherwise notified. But
Yeah,
breaks are
yeah.
good. We love our breaks. We love it.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, this has been beautiful. We've been here
Yes,
for a long time today,
I
just
am.
talking
We have.
wrestling.
We have. I am trying to pull up the WRWF results.
Oh my gosh. Wow, oh my gosh, I can't believe we almost forgot to talk about the WRWF results.
Yes, Wrestling
Oh
RHAPUp,
my
Wrestling
gosh.
Federation.
I got my
I
my
am
yeah,
the
talk
first
about it.
two-time champion, two-time WRWF champion. I beat both
Romance.
Mike Edwards and Chris Pettis for the belt with
But
11 correct
unprecedented.
guesses.
Yeah,
I
wow.
mean, amazing. Matt is still on a losing streak. He
The
lost to
fact that
our former guest, Billy Garcia.
the fact that you won two championships all while pregnant, like I don't think we've ever seen that.
Yep.
That's impressive. I
And I'll
did
still
lose to Billy
defend. I'm still
Garcia.
gonna defend. I'm still gonna defend at the Backlash pay-per-view. I think Sarah had asked for a title match. You gotta talk to the commissioner, Grace. Grace is the one who sets it up. So I don't know who I'm facing next, but
Yeah.
all challengers welcome.
I will say, like, the celebrity match that I had with Billy was a great match. He barely won.
Yeah.
He really disrespected me and my family the whole way along. But you know what? I'm just trying to get a win. I'm
Yep.
trying to finish my story.
Yeah, there you go. It almost
Get
like
one win.
start your story. Yeah.
I'm
But
just a jobber.
we are having a lot of fun over there with the predictions.
What other
league
matches
there.
happened on there? Like, I mean, we can give a shout out.
Yeah, Ashley beat Stephanie, unfortunately. It was a close match for them. Yeah.
Let me see.
Grace won. She beat Max Ehrenstein
Okay.
really soundly, 11-7. Ryan beat Aaron Paulson. Matthew beat Wes. Poor Wes. Sorry, Wes.
Wow.
But
Wes
yeah,
could not do it in his
he just
WRWF
barely
debut. And
lost. Yeah.
I relate.
Mhm.
I relate. I relate. At least there's a Matthew winning something here. Olivia beat Kelly and Kevin. Wow. And Sarah beat Brock. Wow. The women really just like
The women did the
dominated.
thing. Yes. So shout out to
Man.
everybody at Job Has Squadcast.
I'm
If
gonna
you want to participate, let us know.
I'm gonna have to form a men's alliance and just, like take out the
Like a
women's.
faction. Yes,
Yeah,
we gotta
faction.
form some factions and get some faction on faction matches up
God.
in here.
Yeah, but don't. Oh, God, it's so bad. I know. It is annoying because I do really want that championship, Mari. But I'm happy for you. Like,
Thank
if
you.
I can't be the champion, I want you to be the champion. So you
Thank
better
you.
not lose it,
I won't. I will try not to. Um
or lose it. Lose it. Just keep losing it and winning it back. Like
losing it. Yeah. So yeah.
even better.
Yeah. So I can pad my stats. That'd be funny.
Yeah, you could be the
Charlotte.
I was gonna say better. Yes, thank you. I was gonna say the unproblematic Ric Flair. We're on the same page. You could be the Charlotte of the league, the WRWF.
Thank you to everyone for joining us here.
Yeah.
We decided to go live at the last second because that's what we do. Thank you for listening this far through. This is a long one because we won't be here for a while, but always stay in touch with us. Matt, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you could find me at Matt Scott GW on the different platforms. You could find me in the Job as a Squadcast group, which we will plug over on Facebook. And yeah, just like be in touch, reach out, be connected. I'm hoping like that we'll still be able to do the predictions even when we're not podcasting, because I'm sure it'll be a little while till we are podcasting together for sure. So we're gonna hopefully keep that rolling. And I always love to plug. Well, I'll plug a couple of things actually, just because these things will come within the next couple months. One, you should always check out my show Pod Friends on RHAP, robhiswebsite.com/podfriends, or search Pod Friends wherever you get your podcasts to hear interviews with me and people in the RHAP community. But also subscribe to the Pride Has Spoken podcast. Each year, me and our WRWF commissioner, Grace Leader, as well as Dr. Evie Jagoda of Survivor fame, do interviews with like LGBTQ plus Survivor players. So we are planning on resuming that for Pride Month this year. Maybe even expanding a little beyond Survivor players. Just a little hint there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Pride is speaking across series. I know we're going into the reality TV cinematic universe a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. But check that out at robhasawebsite.com/Pride feed or the Pride is Spoken wherever you get your podcasts. Mari, where could the people find you?
Well, like I said, I'll be on break in a couple weeks, but until then, you can still catch me on Crime Scene with Sarah Carradine every Tuesday, bringing True Crime Tuesdays to RHAP. We just did an episode. Oh my god!
I mean, Mari,
our 100th
congratulations!
Episode.
Yes, with Latanya. I love that episode.
Thank you.
It's always so great listening to you all. You're all killing it out there, but that was a happy 100. I don't know how you got to 100 episodes.
I don't know either, but it was very fun. We reviewed Crime Scene Berlin on Netflix with the great Latanya Stark. So you can go to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed in order to subscribe to Crime Scene. We are we normally do take a week break after that, and then we'll be back. And while I'm out, Sarah will still be covering all your true crime documentaries, docu-series. So make sure you subscribe to hear her. She's gonna have lots of wonderful guests on. So the crime keeps going even if I'm stopping.
The crime keeps going.
Unfortunately,
wow.
Yeah. Over on Recap Kickback, me and Chappelle, we had been covering a lot of good things. And he will also it's his show, whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
We covered Cowboy Carter. I think we are currently about to cover Good Times. We're covering a lot of stuff. We dropped Shirley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we dropped the Shirley episode.
You did.
So yes. So again, the pregnancy brain. Go to recapkickback.com in order to subscribe over there, or go to youtube.com/@recapkickback to subscribe to our video feeds. And follow me on Twitter at Mari Talks Too Much, because I'll still be tweeting. I'll still be tweeting. I have to do something in between entertaining a newborn. So follow us over on the Wrestling RHAPUp at Wrestling RHAPUp on Twitter as well. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps. And that's it. Honestly, I'm tired. We gotta go. Remember, wrestling is for everybody, but not all wrestling is for everyone. We'll see you when we see you.
We will.
Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock, cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Will a Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling RHAPUp's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock, cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.